Hello, this is J.N.S. and happy Juneteenth. Oh my gosh, it is the Juneteenth. And, I just wanted to, just checking my sound. Hold up. Okay. And so I just want to really just celebrate this moment. And again, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm from Buffalo, New York. And in Buffalo, we always been celebrating the Juneteenth literally since the 80s. Like, that's how long, like, I know everybody was late in terms of like making the Juneteenth a federal holiday. And a lot of people didn't even know what the Juneteenth was, including many of our own Black Americans. But for me, growing up, Juneteenth was a big deal in Buffalo, New York. Actually, there's like a festival that they have every year. It's been literally going on since the 80s. I could pull up videos from 9 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago of like these celebrations. We would have them at the Martin Luther King Park. And I used to live around the corner from the Martin Luther King Park when I mean, this was decades ago. But anyways, we would walk to the Juneteenth celebration, and it used to be popping. Like it was obviously there was a lot of cover bands, a lot of food, and again, like with the Juneteenth, we really didn't understand the context of the situation in Texas and Buffalo, New York. We just knew it was like the day that the slaves found out that they were free. But we did not know that it was like a Texas thing. We really did think that it was like countrywide because that's just the moment in which we grew up with it in Buffalo. But nonetheless, Juneteenth was a huge deal in Buffalo, New York. Every year, I mean, the drill teams. I don't know if you guys remember the drill teams. The girls would go and do their performances. Those who were in African dance, if you was a little ass kid and you did African dance, you would be able to go and perform at the Juneteenth. Like literally everything you did throughout the year, a lot of times as a kid, whether it's drill, African dance, African drums. Because at that time, a lot of us were Pan Africanists, even though we're not Pan Africanists now, and Juneteenth has nothing to do with Africa. Growing up, like unfortunately, it was hodgepodge, and so we used to do like either the drums, dance, drill, or get ready for the parade, and then off of that moment just to perform that once a year in the summer on the weekend on the Juneteenth parade. And so it was always a big deal. And I want to share a message like from our ancestors in terms of like I want to segue the conversation into you know Black American leadership and where do we go as a Black American community in terms of our own autonomy and our own sovereignty, to be quite frank. And so I have some like a message I want to share about that, but also I want to also talk about the message from the divine feminine towards the Black American community. That will get a little esoteric and spiritual in that sense because I want to break down some codes of a particular video and song that was on my mind. That's just unbelievably. The song is unbelievably amazing, and it's by some Black women, and I just want to decode it and tie that into the message that I have for Black Americans in terms of us being in the age of divine feminine. But I want to show this Juneteenth just so you guys can see it for yourself that the Juneteenth was a big deal in Buffalo, boy. And I went every year, and I used to try to do my hair and all this shit. But I have to say, they ended up, unfortunately, messing the Juneteenth up in Buffalo, New York. Why? Because they used that a lot of the gangs. There's not that many gangs in Buffalo, but like Bailey or people that had beef with each other. That was also the time that you met up at the Martin Luther King Park to fight. Unfortunately, that's what was the downside of the Juneteenth of Buffalo, New York. I think they cleaned all that shit up. I don't think you could do all that now, but I remember it went from being something that we looked forward to into something where the elders would get kind of nervous and they would stop the youth from going. They didn't want us really going. I'm talking about like when I was like 15, 14, 13, because at that time it was known that people that had beef was going to fight, whether you were male or female. At some occasions on some Juneteenths there was actual shootouts. So they ruined this beautiful event. But when I was going every year, again, it was tons of dance, tons of music. I mean, we used to love how to do the cover bands that sing Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire, Isley Brothers. And believe it or not, another thing that we used to love about the Juneteenth was that was our only chance to really get some fried dough and some fried Oreo cookies, because we didn't have access to like getting no fried dough. That's kind of like carnival shit, like something you go to Darien Lake or to an amusement park. But Juneteenth was also something that a lot of the Black Americans in Buffalo, they would turn out, boy, because they know this time they're gonna get them some damn fried dough. But anyways, look at this. I want to show this.
Juneteenth is once again celebrating community.
This is 9 years ago. And so again, this has been going on literally since the 80s. The Juneteenth has always been a big deal in Buffalo. Black Americans in Buffalo, come from the South. Now we're second generation, third generation Northerners, but our roots are in the South. So a lot of us, believe it or not, a lot of Buffalonians don't come from Texas. So I'm confused as to why we celebrate it so hard, and none of us really are from Texas. From what I understand, most of the Black Americans in Buffalo, New York, they come from Alabama, North Carolina, and Georgia. Every Black American I've ran into in Buffalo, they have had those ties. You may get Florida in there. A lot of times it's still Georgia, but some of the family migrated to Florida. I've heard of Florida before, and that's pretty much about it. I never really, excuse me, I never really heard of Black Americans like coming from that Texas area. So I wonder, how did Juneteenth get so popping in Buffalo? Like I'm telling you, it's really popping amongst Black American culture in Buffalo, New York since for decades. But look at this event from 9 years ago. So you can see that we was on this shit before it became a federal holiday, and before, Biden, all these people started fucking it up and all this stuff.
Eyewitness News reporter Sierra Johnson has been following those festivals all day.
With music.
So as you can see, again, a lot of people in Buffalo tend to be more conscious. And at that time, 9 years ago, we were still on that Pan-African wave. And I'll say this. That conscious community that you see in Harlem has connections and ties to Buffalo in terms of the information dissemination, like that, the information that Bobby Hemmett would disseminate, Black Kabbalists, the stuff that was going on in that conscious community. Believe it or not, Buffalo had a role to play in that. I do have, I forgot his name. He's a teacher. He's a spiritual teacher. He actually gave Buffalo some credit. He was on Magic 365 show. Black Magic 365 show, and he actually gave Buffalo credit. He said, if it wasn't for Buffalo and the conscious, I was shocked, because I was like, whoa, I was really shocked that he did that, but he did. But the reason why is because, like, again, in Buffalo, it's very stratified based upon race, and it's very stratified, and then the Black people, everybody kind of stick to themselves. It's not like New York City. It's not like any other city in America. Like, you kind of stick to yourself based on your stratification. And the way it is in Buffalo is where it's not so much based on even income, it's more so on race. And so we tend to be more conscious. We tend to come out more radical. We tend to, we talk certain way, when we come out of Buffalo, because of the shit that we are ingratiated in as young kids. But I'll show you this. Look at this. So here we go. It's a lot of that Pan-African stuff you're going to see, because in Buffalo 9 years ago, we was still on that African shit.
And dancing. Thousands of folks from across Western New York are gathering at MLK Park to celebrate.
See, that's MLK Park is where I grew up around.
Community.
We were welcoming everyone to come participate.
Cities across the country take part in Juneteenth, which is the oldest known celebration commemorating the end of slavery. And every year for the past.
There go. I think these are the Shriners, right? Or they may be Moors. I don't know. Or they may be Muslims. I forgot what this group is called. But yeah, this is what I used to go to every motherfucking year. I'm telling you. And again, I think they cleaned up all of that damn violence as far as them trying to go and fight. I think they cracked down on all that. But I'm telling you, this was a big deal. Again, you see them dancing. It was always, you want to prepare for that Juneteenth. And when I was a little ass kid, I ain't gonna hold you. My granny, she had me in. My granny is my adopted mother. She put us in that African dance. We did do we didn't perform at the Juneteenth though. We did, because I think I ended up quitting before then, because I didn't really care for it. But we did the African dance for a little bit. Like, I remember it was like a community center in the East Side in the hood that we would go to and learn some African dance, and to prepare for the Juneteenth performance. And then My sister did the drill. She did the drill team, Sisters with Step, and they performed at the Juneteenth. So this was something that like you got your little kid involved. A lot of the Black kids used to love to perform at this Juneteenth. I'm telling you.
Past 40 years, Buffalo hosting a celebration of its own. The
So
third
you heard of 40 years. That will be what? The 70s. Like we literally been celebrating it since the 70s, the 80s.
largest in the nation.
One thing about culture is it's not exclusive to only one heritage embracing it. But if you are a heritage lover, we're calling all heritage lovers home.
For many, the event, which features music, vendors, and food, is a reunion of sorts, one where people of all ages come together for fellowship.
Oh, I see all of my family members, so to speak.
WBOK, that's 93.7. I know everybody know about that.
About the community here, it makes me feel proud because we have something that really bridges us together.
And with the influx of visitors, Buffalo police making their presence known. Mayor Byron Brown says he expects several thousand people to attend the annual event, and safety is a top concern.
This is going to be a busy and fun summer in the city of Buffalo.
And if you haven't had a chance, to make it out, you still have time. Tonight, the celebration goes until 8 o'clock at MLK Park. Tomorrow, the celebration picks back up with basketball tournaments, vendors, and entertainment until 7 p.m.
I know y'all see them drilling. That's the Crusaders. I ain't gonna hold you. The Crusaders, they used to be a popping ass drill team in Buffalo. I mean, I don't know if they probably still are popping, but they used to be like the shit back in the day. Actually, I went to high school with that boy in the back. Wow.
Johnson, 7 Eyewitness News. All right, thanks, Sierra.
Okay, so y'all get the point. I mean, Juneteenth was a big deal. It was a big deal, and so and as you can see, we always been on that heritage stuff about the lineage. So it's no coincidence that I even embarked on like the delineation movement and coming forward, with my work relating to culture and Black Americans. Is obviously it's something that we've been doing in Buffalo for a very long time, even in a manner where it wasn't so much overt, like like concretized in that sense. But another thing is, again, we did have the misstep with us being more so in the Pan-African. So I do have to admit that at these Juneteenth festivals, it was a lot of drums and a lot of that shit. But you grow and you learn. So I don't even know if it was like, I'm sure like at the celebration this year, I wonder, what if there would be changes. Like I wonder, since we're in a new consciousness, would we still be doing more of the drum stuff? And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But in terms of like, now that the Black Americans are more so on delineation, I wonder how did that affect the Buffalo? Just as a sociologist, I just wonder, like, how did it affect the Juneteenth in Buffalo, New York? But nonetheless, message from the ancestors. Yes, that's very important. Obviously, culture is very important, but also our very ancestral memory, our epigenetics is very important as a lineage. And that's something that we want to tap into when we think about the Juneteenth. I was going to make me some collard greens and damn bacon, but the cornbread today, I had decided against it. But I sure got it in the freezer ready to go. The collard greens. I was like, man, I was TTG trained to go, but I'm gonna hold off on that because I have to prepare all of that and cut shit up and all that. So I don't feel like doing that today. But nonetheless, in terms of where we're going as a people, it's something that we want to think about. The very existential, like this is like existential in terms of the moment we are in 2024, when we talk about the shifts even in our very frequency, and our role in this global atmosphere. Like, do we want to be the leaders? Do we want to be a permanent underclass? Do we want to be victimized? Do we want to be empowered? Do we want to be isolated? Do we want to be delineated? Do we want to be globalist? And, all these things. And I think we discuss quite a bit over the years in terms of the direction we want to go into. But I do sense that there's a lot of not so much distraction, because I mean you can walk and chew gum at the same time. So I'm not here to be like, oh, we're distracted or we're not. We need to be doing this. That's not this type of video. But one thing I noticed is that it's not a distraction, but there is a bit of stagnation in the energy that in our community regarding the next step. So I know we're carrying on and we're doing a great job in that regard, and we're living and we're thriving in many capacities, but in others not so much. But in terms of empowerment and liberation of the soul, mind, body, and soul, not just liberation in a part of this matrix. Um, I think we as Black Americans need to discuss how much we want to participate in the system. How much of our energy are we going to give this system? Are we going to take it over? Are we going to become the leaders of it? Are we going to completely dismantle and set up a new infrastructure? Or are we going to work from the inside to create our own parallel infrastructure? Or are we just going to completely go sovereign? Those are the steps these are the questions we need to ask ourselves, especially in lieu of what they did to them sisters out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, denying their case, these victims of the Tulsa massacre. The judge completely told them that they will not get any compensation of being tied to an historical event. Doesn't mean that they have unlimited rights to seek compensation. That was literally in the law. That's literally what they put down as the precedent for those victims. And these are the last survivors of the Tulsa massacre, domestic terrorism. And so when I think about those things in the moment that we are in, even in the reparations movement, and the horse, I called that out 8 months ago, that was a horse and pony show. I saw it for what it was. And I took a quite a bit of a ding to even my reputation for calling it out, for calling certain shit out. But nonetheless, I know I'll be vindicated, because as we can see, a lot of this stuff that has turned out to be a nothing burger, or things that are not really tangible in terms of the reparations legislation that's been getting passed, or these task forces that are being formed. It's all part of a governmental play, to kind of placate us into a certain direction, obviously for political reasons. Is not necessarily the way they are doing it. I'm not saying the way grassroots Black Americans view reparations. I'm talking about the way the apparatus is doing reparations. They're trying to control our narrative and tell us this is what reparations is. This is how you're going to get it. We're going to start with a task force. We're going to start with studying. Then we're going to put random ass people on these task forces that may or may not even care about lineage-based reparations. Then we'll come up with all of these weird laws around what it looks like, but nothing like what we are thinking as far as like on the grounds, as far as what Black Americans on the grounds are thinking, or even the way they're doing it is removed from our ancestral DNA. Like it's removed from the epigenetics. So it's like they're disapproving of the way it's going. Our ancestors, at least my ancestors. I can't speak for everybody's ancestors, because not everybody's ancestors is on my type of time. But they are disapproving of the way a lot of even our own is moving in that space. Disapproving of the way the whole thing is going in terms of the way the government is handling that. Obviously, what happened in Tulsa, obviously what happened in California. I know they want to convince you guys that that's a win, but until there is some sort of tangible, direct, tangible outlet for Black Americans for the latent functions of slavery, not slavery itself, but the latent functions, meaning the quantifiable ways that we are affected by it today. Obviously, the disparities in the racial wealth gap, all of those things, that is what that needs the remedy. And so if that is not going to get addressed in any tangible manner, then it's not really what we're looking for. As far as our ancestors, that's not what they're looking for. And it's not even just about, the fiat currency aspect of it. that is a part of it, but much more important to our ancestors is inheritance, right? Inheritance, rightful ownership, inheritance. That's important to our ancestors. They know that we are doing inheritance, not just of the land, but of the system itself, of the empire itself, like literally a turning of the American corporation, government, and empire over to Black Americans, to control. And I'm saying that, and I know that may sound radical, and I know people may think that it sounds crazy. Black Americans themselves may think I sound, oh, you too radical, you pushing it too far. We got a good thing going. Don't start talking like that. They're gonna come after you. They're gonna come after you. They already have come after me. My own people have come after me. It is what the fuck it is. But I'm not gonna stop saying what the hell my ancestors done put in my damn head, or what God done put in my damn head. I know for a fact that America is supposed to be going through a whole new dispensation, and we are not supposed to be going with this tried and true fucked up ass system that has buried my people, that has buried the Black Americans, relegated us to the bottom as a scapegoat, as a sacrificial lamb, to harness our energy to keep a illegal corporation running on a land that was stolen land that was taken from a specific group of people, and so many of which we have lineage ties to as well, for those that are indigenous. So what I'm saying is, I don't care what nobody say. I know it's 2024. I'm way too early. I know I'm early on this. I know for a fact that Black Americans are supposed to be in a position of empowerment in terms of the leadership of this very country, not on some boule type shit where they just mere puppets or mere slaves to the system, where they are controlled by them, the powers that be. None of that. Not no oath taking ass niggas, not no contract shit, all this bull stuff. No, it's supposed to be like literal not necessarily a theocracy, but the days of like ancient Egypt in this bitch. Straight up. Where your rulership is tied to your divinity and your bloodline, as well as your power, your ancient power. And so that's where I'm at with it. I'm not budging on it. I'm not going to take it back. I'm not, because I know that it's supposed to happen. Now they know that they trying to push, the Boule class or the Freedmans and all this stuff. They're trying to push certain Black Americans that are from our bloodline to the forefront in the mix, but they are not heirs. They're not the proper heirs. They may have the bloodline, but that don't mean that they are the heirs or the ones that the ancestors chose. See, that's the difference between like the current power structure. They like to choose Black leaders. That's nothing new. You guys already know that. They always like to choose our leaders for us. Because they cannot have another Malcolm X popping up out of nowhere, another Huey P. Newton popping out of nowhere, another James Baldwin popping out of nowhere. They neutralize the ones that do talk like us, like me. They say that they are actively trying to neutralize me. They've neutralized Young Pharaoh. I mean, they've neutralized plenty of people, if not outright killed them, like a Darren Sills. They have either they find a way to neutralize your motherfucking ass, or they try to, or it's death, or they discredit, just call you crazy, whatever. And we all know that's what they do. But they are very keen on like controlled opposition, because they need Black Americans to kind of stay in a stagnation, or kind of like a delta state, sleep state. They kind of need you not to be thinking too much about how to get in control, how to get in power, how to get in power for yourself, how to start coming together to build things. How do you build a parallel infrastructure? They definitely damn sure don't want you out getting together talking about quantum tunneling or quantum superpositioning. They don't need y'all. They don't want you nowhere near that stuff. Thinking about how to build satellites and all this shit. Now that's definitely something that freaks them out, because you got the DNA to activate all that stuff without even, you don't need any body else's energy. You don't need to do no ritual. You don't need to sacrifice nobody. You need to do none of that. You got all of that literally within your DNA. As far as is dormant, but awakening of it. That's why you get an Aaron Salters who can build a car that can run on water. Aaron Salters from Buffalo, New York, went to touch tag, Black American that was killed in that massacre at the Tops grocery store in Buffalo. That's why you get a Black American who can turn air into water. That's literally been invented. It's in the DNA. And these are brothers that don't have, like, tons and tons and tons of education. It was just in their DNA to understand the laws of the universe, to understand that air is water and how to build a machine to extract that. That's in the epigenetics. So they don't want us to come all together, be thinking about stuff like that. Okay, like how do we create a quantum tunneling where we ascend certain dimensions where they can't even fuck with us and touch with us through consciousness? These are the things that they don't want you to think about. But who cares what they want? It's like I'm not in the stage of, oh, they said we can't do this. They don't want us to do this. They stop us at this. They do this. I ain't on that type of time. Okay, I know that they don't want it. Okay, I'm still do it. What the fuck? We still got to do it. Your very souls depend on it. Unless you want a time loop on planet Earth, unless you want to keep time looping here, in a hell matrix, in their debt system, where they using you as a damn battery source. Unless you want to keep time looping here as a battery source, you have to create your heaven through consciousness. Now you can ascend there naturally through lifetimes, or you can get there in one lifetime. But it's not really the discussion of this video. But I know that our ancestors, they are calling us to task to show up for ourselves, not to show up for anybody else but ourselves, not to show up for a system, not to show up for nothing. And they want us to be bold in action. Our ancestors want us to be bold. Is anything you do, you got to do with boldness, or else your energy get fucked up. That go for me, and that go for all of our people. Anytime we embark on something, we got to do it with boldness and fearlessness. No fear. No fear. Fear is a mind killer. Fear is a mind killer. That's what I learned this year. In 2023, 2024, I've learned that fear is what will cause me to die. Nothing else, really. It's your own mind. It's your fear. It's your biggest adversary. And if you can conquer that, you can pretty much conquer anything, because it's all false evidence appearing real. It's not. It's an illusion in terms of fear. And that don't mean that some of the fear is not warranted. Of course, it may be warranted, but you still got to work through it. You still got to act in spite of it. And so that's another thing our ancestors want us to know, is that we have to have no fear, and we have to have boldness, and we have to be what? It's wise as a serpent, but it's harmless as a dove. Now, who said that? One of my homies, ascended master just like myself, Yeshua, said that. Wise as a serpent, the divine feminine, and it's harmless as a dove. So you're observant. That means we're very observant. We practice our own intelligence. We developing our own intelligence agency. We doing all types of shit as Black Americans. We watching everything. We're harmless though. Now, you come with us, we turn into what? A lion, a dragon. The lion and that dragon shall I trample under feet. You come fucking with us, we throw the Uzi on your ass. We ain't playing, but we are harmless as doves, but we are wise as serpents. We don't play that shit. We are not out here to get deceived. We are not out here to get okie doked. How the Democrats try to okie doke us. We look at this. This government has tried to okie doke us every motherfucking day. Look what they did to them sisters out there in Tulsa. Century-old ass Black women's. Precious old ass Black women's that had survived a domestic terrorist attack in Tulsa in 1921. It's 100 years damn later. And the government tells them no compensation for stealing your land, for bombing your ass, for hurting you, for harming you, none of that. They could have gave them two ass Black women some dough, break them off with some land, something, give them back some of that Tulsa land that they stole. They didn't want to do nothing. That's some wicked ass shit. And so our ancestors want us to know, like, we got to be bold, and we got to be very, very much wise in these day and times, because people's always trying to trick us and deceive us out of our damn souls, out of our very lives as Black Americans. I know you don't want to believe that, because many of you Black Americans, and it's not many, some of you, y'all walk right straight into the B system. And I know, because people had to catch me and help me get out of that situation. Whether it be the music industry, the politics, the system itself, they walk right into it. If go to a Black American, tell them, show them some information or to give them something fake and false, or promise them some type of money and then screw them over. Look at all the Black Americans that come forward about their unfair contracts and unfair deals and all this stuff that's going on. That's the system. And so what we're trying to tell Black Americans is you got to pick your choice. Either we're going to go sovereign, and even sovereign in the sense where, okay, we got to work and we got our own livelihoods and whatnot, but we got to slowly we have to, for one, awaken to the fact that this system is dying. That's something that you have to accept. Many Black Americans don't want to accept that. Many Black Americans don't want it to end. Many Black Americans want to be merely at to sit at this table of this system, but it offers no true power or empowerment for the collective of us. That's where we get the concept of the boule and the D9 and all this stuff. And I don't have an issue with all of it, but a lot of it I do have an issue with, because they're not in a position to really help our people. They don't care to, because they don't see themselves as a part of us, and that's fine. But for those of us that have the inheritance and the bloodline and the intelligence and the ancestors on our side, we know good and hell well that it's the time for a shakeup in America. Now, this 2024 election, Trump gets it. Trump sets that transition. He does the alley loop for what's coming in for 2028 to 2032 to 2036. Me as one of the watchers, me as one of the primordial beings on this planet, as a Black American representative, I'm wearing the meat suit of a Black American. Obviously, my soul is much more ancient, beyond any lineage, beyond any thing that you could think of in terms of on an earth realm. Because we are all, as Black Americans, even as humans, we are all multidimensional, interdimensional, vast. We have existed since the beginning of time. We have our souls have been traversing through many aeons, but in this lifetime, in 2024, I am appearing as a Black American female. And with that being said, those of us that know, we want a new governance system in America. Now, that doesn't mean like a total, complete revolution and, we're knocking everything down and looting and all this crazy ass shit. No, we're talking about governance. Governance, not governments. I did a video talking about the differences between governance and government. Government means to govern your mind space. Government means mind control. Governance means to govern a state of being. So we want a new governance in America, from the executive level to the judicial level to the legislative level. That requires, obviously, uprooting in the way we do politics as Black Americans, but more importantly, we have to remember our ancestral. We have to go into this understanding our ancestral energy, cosmology, our melanated sciences. That's the only way to get through it, because you have to do it through interdimensions of consciousness. You don't have to really do it physically as much as you think you do. If you're still at 3D, then nothing that I'm saying may not even make sense to you. But if you are past the 3D level, you understand what I'm saying. And so I would encourage our Black American youth, our Black American young adults, is to think in terms of governance in every aspect of your life, even the governance of your own damn home. Governance is to govern a state of being, a state of condition. What is that state of condition? For us, is to be the golden age. The state of condition is the golden age. That is the governance that we are bringing to America as Black Americans. We're governing state of condition of America, which means the golden age. This is what's coming in 2028, 2032, or 2036. One of these years, y'all better pick it. And we're coming out of this system that you currently see, of this racial stratification and rampant isms and non-care for the people, non-care for lack of care, lack of care for our people. And that day is ending. That this system is literally dying. You can see it. I mean, look how the election is going. Y'all can't see that this shit is cooked. Y'all can't see that. That we in an age of where something new is being born, and it is transcending from obviously the descending rather. The energy is descending from the Saturn realm, but also the chaos intelligence realm. What is the chaos intelligence realm? That's dark matter, dark energy. I don't know if I ever stated that before emphatically. I know I've done a series of videos on the chaos intelligence dimension, but for those that don't know, like, what is that? Is that a plane of, that's not a planet? It's a plane of dimension that is a makeup of resonance and entropy and primordial birthing. Like it's like a primordial birthing waters, but it's pretty much dark energy, dark matter, which ties to the divine feminine. That's all the chaos intelligence, cosmic melanin, that is feminine in nature, but it's the pole of creation that creates the idea of consciousness, the idea of planets and galaxies, the idea of resonance itself. So it's high level. And so that is the energy that is affecting this planet, as well as the energy of Saturn, as well as the energy of Uranus is affecting this planet Earth. And so when you see us, you're gonna see this talk. Right now, I'm new and I'm early on shit, but you're gonna see this type of talk be this regular just conversation in politics. It's gonna you're gonna hear stuff about governance of a state of condition based on consciousness, based on resonance. You're going to hear about this golden age shit that I'm talking about. Oh, it's going to be on the mainstream eventually. They always watch my shit, and, and go run with it. But because it's literally there's powers that be behind the powers that be. There's a shadow behind the shadow. There's watchers behind the watchers. Okay, I'm speaking in code now. And so we see everything that's going on this planet, and so we do want literally a new paradigm, and whatever it takes to get it is what will happen. And it don't need to be no big ass wars. And if you can't see through, World War III is already here. I know you can see that. It is based on cybernetics, electromagnetic frequency tampering. It's a frequency war. It's a frequency war. That's what World War III is. Obviously it has to do with space, the rush to certain cryptocurrencies, the rush to certain digital apparatuses that lead to control. So obviously you have the AI stuff going on. You have the AI. All of this is very much a part of this quote unquote World War III. You have the situation with the situation they out there doing with Israel and Gaza and then Ukraine and all this stuff. It's covert, so it's not like you have to have this whole roundup. Like how they did in World War II, where the whole country was involved with it. Everybody's life was affected by it. It was always on the news. It was always in propaganda. They don't want the World War III to be like that. They kind of don't want you to know much about it, so they can stay in power and smooth. So that you're not paying attention that there's vacancies. There's vacancies on a spiritual level. That the energy is not there for them to continue their rulership. They don't want the average Black American to know that. They don't want the average American to know that. You have to feel that. That's something you have to be tuned into in the spiritual realm to see it. But they don't have the energy reservoir. They don't have. It's a lot of vacancies, and by that meaning, the governance that was controlling this third dimension, they don't have the clearance anymore to do that. The treaty has ran out. The contracts are not renewed on that level. And so they don't want you to know that they're fighting a World War III for that power to maintain whatever little bit they have, and they trying to hold on. But they don't want the average American to know that, bitch, we already in World War III. And it's spiritual. Now, you're in spiritual war. That World War III is a spiritual war, if you haven't noticed that. Because they need you. It's a battle for the hearts and minds of the people. It's a battle for the hearts and minds and souls. That's what World War III is. And our ancestors know it. Our ancestors have been waking a lot of us up. That's why they've been messing around with CERN machines, throwing up satellites every other day. They want to throw up new satellites. I think they got like 6,000 satellites governing planet Earth, but only like 4,500 are active, I want to say. And that is to monitor energies and frequencies that can quantum tunnel and quantum entanglement, and quantum superpositioning, as well as energies that can come in. That's what them satellites are for. Why would you have 6,000 satellites out in space watching fucking what? They're watching your ass, watching all the humans. Of course, they got a satellite that can see the pimple on your motherfucking nose, that can see the stretch mark on your damn stomach, that can see, damn, they're probably see inside your pussy, inside your ass. A satellite. I think it's a game. Oh yeah, these satellites not no joke. They there to monitor you. I mean, you think you got mass surveillance. I mean, it's for that, but it's also for those energies that can get out. Melanated people. Melanated people are going to start ascending, and so they can go through different atmospheres and travel. The frequencies can travel in space and come back, and while still being in 3D body, while still being in the meat suit, alive, and they know that. So they're freaking out because the magic, the systems that they stole from melanated people, whether that be the Sumerian magic, Babylonian magic, whatever perversions they're doing with Ifa, the ATR traditions, the American shamanistic traditions, the Celtic, whatever they have taken, is kind of deactivated on a certain level, and Saturn is behind that. A lot of that has been deactivated for certain people of a certain frequency. It is not deactivated for everybody, though. Some of that stuff you can touch if you got the right frequency, it will work. And a lot of times, like, you were wondering, like, how could you get your hands on, some of these magic systems are so freely available when it was relegated to like stuff that you had to get like initiated in, like for instance, Alamatic magic, right? And you just think it's so freely available on the internet, anybody can go look at it. Oh my gosh, this is right there. Anybody could just go and buy these talismans, and because they thought that this was a dead magic system. Like, this is something that's dead. It doesn't work anymore. So yeah, the public had that. We don't care about that. Because they thought they had the real, reinterpreted. They got Cometian science, Kemetic science. They got Babylonian science. They got the Luciferian. They got the science directly from the damn Fallen Watchers. Little do they know is that there are certain bloodlines. Again, none of this stuff is earthbound. A lot of this stuff does come from different dimensions that was shared with planet Earth. And again, I'm not talking about no aliens coming down and all this shit. I'm talking about, like, these are melanated cosmic beings that are interdimensional. Humans are interdimensional. You haven't waken up to that fact. You don't accept it. It is what it is. You're the one time looping down here, still waiting on somebody to come get you with something. Yeah, we don't even want to go there. But these are melanated sciences that transcend the Earth plane. Earth is a plane of dimension. Now you got the people that believe in the flat earthers, and then you got the people that believe that Earth is a globe. Earth is a plane of dimension that is horizontal, but it's not flat in a sense of 1D, 2D, but they're not far off, right? And then the globe, the people that believe the Earth is a globe, they're not far off either, and that is electromagnetic sphere or electromagnetic energy that is globe, that is shaped as a globe that covers the plane. But it's all energy. It's all a plane of existence that is based on density and dimension. So the flat earthers aren't quacks that just is wrong and they don't know what they're talking about, because it is a plane of existence. A plane is horizontal, though. It goes horizontal and go up and down through dimension. When you get in a plane, where it does, you see it, it's always going quote unquote flat or horizontal, but it goes up into the sky and then it lands back down. That's your density. As you can look at that as density, but it's always going horizontal. And then around that, you have a field of electromagnetic energy that can look like a circle, a globe, And so that's why you got some people that say, oh, the Earth is a globe. Oh, the Earth is flat. It don't really fucking matter. It's both of y'all don't have it all really figured out. It's a plane of existence that has an electromagnetic auric field around it that is that is in the shape of a globe, but it's still a plane. And it's very much something that your perception of it, though, is being 3D or solid or physical. I guess that's up for debate still. For me, I don't see it that way. I'm very much aware that it's a plane of dimension. That's what planet Earth is. Then you got 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, all the way to 125D. A lot of this information that the humans got in terms of our ancestors, these are melanated people sciences, by the way. That came from the 125th dimension. Obviously, the dimension that a lot of the Fallen Watchers have come from. or other ascended masters or people that want to visit down here. They come, bodhisattvas. They'll come and they'll give you this information. And then humans will make a religion out of it. They'll misinterpret it. They bastardize it, hide it for that so they can stay in power, which is what you have a lot of secret societies do. Hide information, twist information for their benefit. This is what's been happening since the beginning of the time. And so now we're in 2024 when you see a lot of this shakeup happening because these systems, these isms, these systems, the ideologies, the energy behind them, it's all dying because it's too much of a low governing force for the crystals and the earth to handle. The earth itself, Mama Earth, she is not going to handle it. She's activated, and she has been touched by Saturn and touched by the chaos intelligence realm, which is dark energy, dark matter, melanin. Okay. And again, melanin is a superconductor. It is an intelligence of its own. It's a conductor. So when I say chaos intelligence, we're talking about the abyss. Chaos, the original definition of chaos means abyss and darkness. It does relate to the divine feminine, and intelligence, meaning the intelligence of melanin itself as a superconductor, as a regulator of electromagnetic energy and radiation in the universe. That is what the chaos intelligence realm is. That is the pole of creation. That is where certain beings can descend, believe it or not, from. Very rare, because there's usually primordial energies, very ancient energies. Those are the oldest energies on the planet. So that's my energy, chaos intelligence realm. Chaos intelligence being, you have a lot of ascended masters and bodhisattvas that will come from that realm. A lot of Black Americans decide to come from that dimension as well, as, and they'll reincarnate. They'll come as a Black American or African, as it require a lot of melanin. But yeah, those energies have touched this planet, and so this planet has been able to ascend quite considerably. Planet Earth has been able to ascend. Honestly, the highest dimension, the highest beings on this planet normally couldn't get past 20D. So you had 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D. The average human can actually get access to 7D to 10D. Literally. Did y'all know that? The average human, if they are doing the work, they can get to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10D. Then the ones that are in the know, that have always been in the know, that's in their bloodline, they usually can get to 20D. Those that are the inheritance of the earth, those that the power is going back to, they can go past 20D, and I will not give you the dimension that they can go into. I'll just throw something out there because I know the powers that, certain people monitor my channel for information to see as far as the occult knowledge I'll be giving out. I'll just throw a dimension out there. They can go past 45D, and I'll stop there. And that's nothing. 45D is nothing. And so we dealing with some high level ass shit on this planet. Very primordial ancient spirits. And they are not playing, and many of them are your ancestors, Black Americans and melanated people, melanated folk. You've been melanated for a minute. You've come in at such a time in 2024 for this reason. This is a very important season for this planet, for you, for your ancestors. And so we got this, this chaos intelligence energy, this energy of melanin. A lot of humans, I'll just say this for you guys that feel like you don't understand what I'm saying. Think of it as Christ consciousness. That's I will give you the baby version. Christ consciousness. Think of it as that. Think of it as the age of divine feminine. Like this is a serious age that we're in. It is a paradigm of more justice, of more enlightenment, of love and intelligence, innovation, prosperity, okay? Abundance. Those are the things that we want. That's what the earth wants to experience itself. You got to figure there's a bunch of crystals on this planet. And as a plane of existence, there are crystals inside of this earth. There are crystals that have activated. There are dimensions that was hidden from Earth that are now being revealed. Remember the 7,000 islands in Japan that were now discovered. It wasn't that they weren't just discovered. It's just that they were hidden from humans. They found 7,000 islands just randomly pop up. They found new continents that just randomly pop up. It wasn't just discovered. It was always here. It's just that cloaking technology is real. You must certainly know that there are beings on this planet that have cloaking technology, including the government got cloaking technology. I mean, they got some good shit. Their cloaking technology is not as good as some of the other beings that hide it on this planet. But nonetheless, they do got some cloaking technology. But and again, when we say cloaking technology, not technology in a 3D sense that you guys are thinking. Technology and spirituality are very much connected when you think of the way that the internet is ran, the way that your brain is ran, the way that electromagnetic radio signals are ran, Wi-Fi, and the way that the human mind works and the things that the human mind can do. Oh, you better believe the technology. I mean, if you really want to understand, that's why a lot of your spiritual teachers, they have a background in like technology management or computer science, and they understand computers and whatnot. They like to look at that shit because they know it's kind of a microcosm for the human brain, the way the mind works. When we talk about like a radio signal and thought consciousness, and even the way telecommunications work. It's the same thing as the way that the human mind works. So technology and spirituality is looked at as the same in the way melanated people approach it. But yes, our ancestors, they want this golden age of governance for America, and they do want the inheritors of this land, the Black Americans, to be in control of it. But again, what type of Black American? Is it a sexy red type of Black American? Is it or is it a Al Sharpton type of Black American? No. Hell no. We want a Black American that is the rightful heir, that has a pure heart, and that it will be willing to do the right thing for their people and for the American people. It's as simple as that. It ain't going to no long. That's the short end of it. Now, you think I don't know that there's a shadow government and that there are beings that run this system beyond the humans? You really think Trump get in there and then Trump gonna be able to make all that? You think it's just him or Biden? Who you think Biden and Kamala are the ones just pulling the strings behind all of this? Even right now, y'all think that? No, we all know that that's not the case. So I'm aware of that. When I'm talking like this, I'm speaking from the position of a watcher that understands how the system works. And we are all in agreement that we want a Black American president, whether that be 2032, 2038, 2028, 2032, or 2036. That's what we want. This right here, 2024, we knew it was a shit show. It was supposed to be a Black American for 2024, but we decided to hold off on the plans, literally. It was supposed to be a Black American for 2024. But we need a placeholder and we need a transitioning period. We have to, that stuff has to transition. We can't just jump into that right now. Plus our people wasn't ready. And then the moves that they was trying to do, they was trying to do some cutthroat ass shit to the rightful heirs. Some of the chosen ones that were among us, it was our own people that was in on pretty much backstabbing the ancestors, backstabbing our fucking ancestors. And our ancestors said, nope, cut it. And some of our ancestors are primordial ancient ones, and they're primordial beings that can't be fucked with. They're not just some nigga slaves, ancestors that died in slavery and all that. No. Yes, some of them are. And that's not no slack, because that's power too. So that's not to ever denigrate those of our enslaved ancestors at all. But I'm talking about there are ones that are so high level. We're talking about the Hathor level. We're talking about God body level. And they are the ones that are pulling the strings behind us. Now, we do got our ancestors that are in America that have been enslaved. They are the ones that are also behind the agenda, but they kind of are pushing it from a different level. They're not the ones making up the plays, making up the orders, giving the orders. Our ancestors that are like say the ones that's like 300 years old, or maybe like the ones from the 1600s, 1500s, they the ones that they just, I won't say follow orders because that's not the right way to say this, but they just do their part. They play their position. But our ancestors that's primordial, like the ones that can create a galaxy, that can create a planet, that can destroy a planet, that can destroy a galaxy, that can change the laws of the universe at will. Those those melanated ancestors, those are the ones that create the cause, draw the plays, and put it in order. And they're not going to go for any type. They don't want sellout energy. They don't want any deals energy. People that will sell they sold. They don't want that kind of energy right now, as far as the governance that they're looking for the America to transition to. Y'all can laugh and say, "Oh, you tripping? We ain't ever gonna get no Black American president. You know they gonna keep them white boys up in there for the rest of our. That's just the way it is. Y'all can think that way. You can think that way. I don't think that way. I know I can push. This, and I know that there will be a Black American president, and a righteous one too. Not no puppet, not no sellout, not no dude that's gonna lie and say one thing and not do what he's gonna be told by the people. They gotta be for the people. He or she gotta be for the people. It's as simple as that. And the governance and the infrastructures that we have to carve out, them frameworks from the top down has to be carved out. Those are done by watchers. Those are done by interdimensional beings. They are melanated though. Make no mistake. I'm not talking about some aliens coming out some sky or some shit. I'm talking about this shit that's right in front of you that you can see. That's always been in front of you. When you open up the damn book of your ancient ancestors, or when you go and look at these mounds, when you go to a mound, when you go to a cemetery, when you go look at a ancient artifact, whether that be a pyramids or something, or cave drawings or those type of things, that's right in front of you. The sciences that they knew, electromagnetic levitation. That's how you built those pyramids. Humans built them. They just knew it's a sacred science to do it. Sun Ra will teach you that. Literally the Sun Ra from Birmingham, Alabama. Now you might say, oh, she's crazy. No, we're talking about through his music. He had secret codes in his music that only certain people of the Saturnian energy of a certain frequency couldn't understand. Dr. York was teaching out shit. Why do you think they clamped down on his ass? But he took an oath to the system, so that's why they was able to lock him up like that, because he broke an oath. He wasn't supposed to do that. Now he could have, and he not got involved with them. That's why they was able to come down on him, because he got involved with them. They only can come down on. They only fuck with you like that if you have taken something. If you have to have strongholds on you, Masonic strongholds. He had Masonic strongholds, so it was easy for them to lock him up in their system, because he had took an oath to protect that system, and went ahead against their will and started teaching Black Americans and building Tamaray and building whole ass cities and teaching them all types of shit, all types of intergalactic shit. And that was supposed to be a secret, and it was supposed to not be something he was supposed to just go and freely give out to his people and teach and help his people build Tamaray and build their own self-determination. Now, that's why they clamped down hard on him. Now, if he had never been a part of their stuff, it would have been much harder to get to even where they got, but he still would have been able to do it. They damn sure wouldn't have been able to lock him up for no damn 200 years and all that shit. They'll use phase 2 on your ass if they don't have a Masonic stronghold on you, meaning they can't lock you up or kill you. They can't kill him. They lock his ass up. But if they don't have that, what's the next stage? Discrediting and crazy campaign. Call you crazy and cut you off at the knees financially, so you'll never have enough money to build the things you need to build for your community. Then the discrediting. So then when you try to talk to your people about galvanizing and implementing the framework, your people don't have faith in you, or they have faith in you, but they're scared and they know that what you're doing is dangerous. So they don't want any parts of it, because they don't want the system coming down on their head. And so they'll throw that. That's what happened with Huey P. Newton. That's what happened with a lot of John Henry Clark and what's the other one? A lot of them, the die broke or die alone and broke in a nursing home or some shit. That all that's by design, and so they'll figure out a way to keep you financially destitute, so that you don't start to actualize some of the epigenetic power to get this stuff to actually build those infrastructures. They want you to go through them. And that's what a lot of the controlled opposition leaders, that's what a lot of Black Americans do today. They go through them. And that's why nothing gets done for us collectively. And it's not going to get done, because they have sworn, they took an oath to protect that system, to keep that system in place. And so anybody that they're pretty much gatekeepers and they're monitors. And so anybody that like say talk like me or talk like that starts to speak of, oh, how do we get, you know, and sovereign, or how do we at least get into that executive level, you know, that's when those gatekeepers and those control the opposition, that's when they'll come after you. That's the first step. But yeah, so Black Americans, you know, our ancestors want us to know you have to be fearless and you have to be bold in everything that you do in this world. And you have to start to work together, and we have to build trust with one another. But we have to realize that there are some snake ass people among our own people. That's going to be y'all biggest downfall as Black Americans, is that you can't see that. See, here's the thing. And I said this and I'll say it again. You know, you have a Larry Elder, right? You have a Jesse Peterson. You can see them coming a mile away, right? You'll have you rag on them, or you rag on, what's the other one? You know, it's a couple of ladies. You know, you'll rag on them and be like, oh, like Stacey Dash or whatever. Oh, they're a coon. Oh, they did this. Oh my gosh, look how they talk about the Black community. Oh, they're self haters. Oh, da da da. Yeah, them people you can see coming, and so those people are kind of like, in a sense, they're not really effective in terms of thwarting any plan that we would have. But what's worse and what's more dangerous is the ones that are among you that you can't tell are actually worse than them, than a Jesse Lee or Larry Elder. They are worse, and they talk like you. They talk just like grassroots. They walk just like grassroots. They'll say the talking points. They'll talk about white supremacy. They'll say da da da. We need to do that, and they'll all the while running honey pots, honey traps, getting motherfuckers murked, getting real revolutionaries, getting real scholars, getting real people out here that's thinking that want to help, getting them murked, getting them lined up, fucking with them. That's the part that y'all can't see, or that you know are too scared to speak out about, and that's what's gonna fuck y'all up. And that's why the Watchers called off the plans that we have for y'all for the next, until we transition this into a higher frequency. We have to transition into a higher frequency. More things have to be exposed. More things have to be brought to the light for you to wake up, and so you can make a move. We can't force anybody to make a move. And so this has to be a transition period. And so we need a little more time, because y'all still are kind of walking around like chickens with your heads cut off. And by that, I mean, not able to discern, to see what's a distraction, what's a play, what's actually bureaucracy, what's actually effective, what's impactful for our community, and what's not. Either you see it and then you're too afraid to call it out because you don't want to piss off the wrong person, piss off powerful people. So all of that energy is still in the mist. So it's not an energy of boldlessness. It's not an energy of boldness, and it's not an energy of fearlessness. And so that vibration is too low for our primordial ancestors to jump on it and swing it. They will keep you in a period of malediction, which is lesson learning, or humans would see as a curse, but it was really a time loop. It's a lesson learning period until y'all ready. And that go for me too. That go for me as a Black American. I'm not separating myself from what we've been going through, obviously. But I'm saying that malediction, that lesson learning period, and the energy of having the transition of having to kind of work with our frequencies as Black Americans, that's still going to be a thing. Because there ain't no way in the world we going to let y'all get in that executive seat and y'all sit up there and continue to and run this system like it's been running. What's the point in having that kind of shakeup like that? And you're going to get in there and sell each other out and sell people out and try to do deals and fuck over the American people even more, including your own community. That's not what we're doing. You're not getting up in no executive seat for no bullshit, whether it be the Senate, for legislation seats, Congress, local level, or definitely damn sure not presidential level. We mean that. If your ass get up in there, and I know the powers that be, they probably think they can find a Black American to do the walk the talk, like how they did with that Tennessee 3, where they had these Black people, these Black boys come out trying to talk like Martin Luther King or some shit like the 60s, and it's like, That is so fake. Like, we're not doing a fake stage shit. The fake stage play is over. We know everything is staged. We already know presidents are selected. We already know it's a bloodline. The bloodline is the bloodline. The bloodline has ties to the Fallen Watchers, but some of the people in the bloodline that has ties to the Fallen Watchers have ties to the Chaos Intelligence realm, which is the realm of God. And so the rightful heirs have to be in office now. And not no fake ass people that steal people's identities and steal they systems and they magic systems and fuck around. No, we want the real deal in there. Is there nobody give a shit about no shadow government and none of that? It's all out in the open. That's what the transition period is about. That's what we need 4 years to do. Is for y'all to wake up and realize that there would be nothing hidden from you, no lies told to you, no secrets. You're gonna know that everything it is what it is. And so we as far as like, you know, how Trump and them was talking about the deep state, or there's a deep state, or there's a shadow. It ain't gonna be none of that. It's gonna be right out in the open, just like in the days of Egypt. Y'all saw on them walls where they had y'all want to go there? Y'all want to go there? Y'all not want to go there? I don't know if I should go there. If I start talking, y'all start misinterpreting it. Y'all misinterpret my stuff that I say and think everything is a damn demon or I'm sacrilegious or something. But I'll say this: y'all seen them walls. Matter of fact, I'll just pull up the picture and show y'all asses. But I'll just show y'all with humans. Y'all saw this, and it's there for a reason, and it was out in the open back in the day. As far as who rules and who runs shit down here, you saw it then, and your ass is about to see it again, right here. Ain't gonna be nothing hidden from you. You see how these tiny little humans? This was where the we about to go deep. I'm just speaking in code. For those who can catch the code, y'all catch it. But I'm not going to go into detail and break all these codes down for you guys, because I'm speaking to a certain frequency and to a certain groups of beings that will even be able to decipher what I'm talking about. Obviously, the average Black American know what you'll get a sense of what I'm saying, but we're talking, this right here is a code. So if I lost you, I'm sorry, but this is for those that's in the power, the elite seats, the Illuminati. Yeah, y'all motherfuckers. This is gonna be out in the open, just like this. It's just gonna be out in the open. It was always out in the open because these were the rightful heirs. I'll show you this too. So it was always out in the open, and true power never has to deceive. True power never has to lie to anyone, or lie to them about who they are, what they do. It is what it is. Either you're a rightful heir to the power or you're not. Okay, you see how these humans and this big ass being right here? And not everything is a demon, because I already know y'all gonna be killing me with that. No, that's the body. Oh, that's the demon. Oh gosh. Did you see how this is just out there like that? You see them melanate beings? Yeah. Y'all could play around, and a lot of this stuff they like to censor, and they like to make it seem like anybody who talks like this is just off their rocker. But I mean, who do you think is beyond the shadows of the shadows? But there are different, again, these primordial energies are back. And all of this, I mean, they have real power. And a lot of this is amongst Black Americans and even amongst the Africans. We have real power. And so there's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide from you people. There's many things that have been hidden, but give us these 4 years. This is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something with. Give us these 4 years and to catch y'all asses up, so that you don't be shocked by the coming changes. So that you don't be shocked by what's happening. And this does tie to the age of the divine feminine. Christ consciousness, however you want to say it, golden age, high level, new earth, 5D, 6D, however you want to say it, age of Saturn. Yeah. So we're gonna catch y'all guys up because a lot of y'all gonna be like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And so once we get you guys caught up, and then we ready for the smackdown, put the mood down. Yep. So speaking of the age of divine feminine, there is something I want to share with you. So keep that in mind as we shift in this power in this system. I just want to go back before I speak on something new. Keep that in mind that we are looking for. There will be no more deals that get honored. You have to use your own electromagnetic frequency to get up out of this bitch. I'm speaking in code again. And melanated people are the rightful heirs in terms of the governance of the American system, American corporation. It does have to, that treaty does have to be turned over to that specific bloodline in America. That does not mean just some random ass Black American, like some sexy red or something. No, it's a very specific bloodline. You guys know who the bloodline is. I know who the bloodline is. I know who the inheritors are. You know who the inheritors are. I'm talking to the powers that be. Yeah, you got 4 to 8 years to hand over that power. And during that period, the transitional period, it will be very much well known that your system is falling apart, that you don't have any power, that is vacant. By that we're talking about spiritual power. You don't have no spirits with you anymore. Those spirits have left. That its energy is supposed to go to the rightful heirs to align the American United States Corporation with the governance of planet Earth, the North American land. So North American land is on a certain frequency that is higher than what the government is running it at in terms of the corporation of the United States. There's misalignment. So something's going to have to give, and it's damn sure not going to be planet Earth. It's damn sure not going to be Mama Gaia, Mama Earth. You got to be out of your mind if you think you can fight her. And so there got to be some alignment with the North American land and our ancestors and this land, the spirits that's in this land, the energy that's in this land, the crystals that's in this land, all of that has to be in alignment with what your governance systems is. It's not in alignment. And so listen to the people that can get that in alignment. Listen to the watchers. That's all I'll say. And Black Americans, you be in tune with those ancestors, our Black American ancestors. You ask them daily for the revival and rejuvenation and restoration of your electromagnetic energy, all the way from the center of the galaxy to the universe. Literally repeat what I'm saying, because a lot of you are time looping. So I'm telling you how to get new electrons into your energy, into your bloodline. You can not take it serious, or you could think it's a joke, or you could, at a simple level, just get a damn reversal action candle. I mean, if you guys want a simple way of understanding what I'm saying. But I'm saying you don't need to do the candles, you don't need to do rituals, you don't need to do anything. You could just literally understand Hecka, understand quantum mechanics, and be able to do stuff. What I'm talking about as far as the cleansing of ancestral generational curses, the cleansing of ancestors, the cleansing of your epigenetics, your spinal cord, any type of junk resonance that got trapped in a spinal cord as a result of you being a scapegoat, or as a result of maybe you come from a Masonic bloodline, or maybe you were abused as a kid, maybe obviously our ancestral slavery, that's in our epigenetics. We want to ascend that, not so much denigrate it, or denigrate our ancestors, but we are ascending our ancestors. We are ascending our spine. We're ascending our consciousness. Consciousness is starts in the heart, in the brain, and in the spine. It's all connected. And so when I'm saying, like, yes, you reach out there from that stellar gateway, from the top of your crown chakra. And I'll just say this. All you need to say is, whether you believe in a Holy Spirit or primordial mother, you say, primordial mother, from the center of the galaxy, I connect with my unique electromagnetism to cleanse out any low governing force. And then you want to say what you want inside of your electromagnetism: balance, peace, enlightenment, joy. Another thing you want to do is, again, connect to that center. So I connect to that center of the galaxy to cleanse out, or not so much cleanse. You don't need to say cleanse, because you don't really need cleanse, but rejuvenate, revitalize, reinvigorate my every subatomic particle in my body, every electron. I want it revitalized. I want it awakened. I want it prosperous, and I want it connected to a certain electromagnetic frequency. And then you got to state with that intention of what that is. That's all that we are in the age of intergalactic mentalism. And so, a lot of times we used to really go doing so much physical 3D stuff to try to, cleanse raise the vibration of our ancestors, honor our ancestors, cleanse our own energy, uncross ourselves, whatever we do. A lot of those things, they are done through, now they can be done through resonance. So that's your Heka. Your resonance is your Heka, your electromagnetic field, as well as tapping into that dark energy, the divine feminine, dark matter, which makes up 95% of the universe. And remember, if you don't know what dark energy is, dark matter is, you want to look at those chaos intelligence videos so you can understand these things about what we're talking about in terms of the polar creation or heaven on earth. The way humans will understand it is like a heaven on earth or a Christ consciousness. We can look at it like that for a simple level. Okay, so I want to break down this beautiful video by these 3 Black women. First we'll look at the video, then we'll look at the lyrics, but this relates to the divine feminine and how special and precious these Black American women are. This is a group that decided not to go mainstream. They decided to keep the soul and purity in their music. They work in the industry, though. They do a lot behind the scenes. They may even have Grammys. I'm not sure, or they might be Grammy nominated, but I do know that they work. But they're not mainstream at all. As you can see, they've been around for a long time. They only got 15,000 subscribers, but their music has so much soul and so much frequency and resonance. They're so amazing. These ladies are absolutely amazing and so gifted and talented. And so I want to break this down because they made this 8 years ago. It was directed by Veronica Solomon. Again, these are certain bloodlines. These are very powerful bloodlines. Veronica Solomon. I would really like to know more about her, because they put this shit out there, and you see this yellow and this blue, and you now see what they keep doing, yellow, blue, everything with the, but back again, they take our sciences and switch it to mean something else. So, but this yellow and blue stood for something different in melanated culture. I probably won't get into the depth of that, but I know right now in 2024, you're seeing all this yellow and blue symbology, like with the show, the 33 and the labels on like certain medications and all this stuff. That's for a different agenda. That's not our agenda. So you may see some things in this video where you're like, oh, they're trying to promote something sinister. No, we're promoting our ancient primordial sciences of the chaos intelligence realm, which is the age of divine feminine, the realm of divine feminine, pole of creation, and melanin. And so these ladies, I think they tap into stuff. I love their music. I think their music is so pure. It's just what the Black woman does, when she's in her right mind and when she knows who she is and when she understands her gifts and her talents and her soul. They create things that are so amazing, but they don't sell out to the system. That go for the men too. When they don't cower, and when they decide to go their own way and create their own opportunities and believe in whatever it brings. They choose their enlightenment over this material realm. They overcome the world, as my brother would say, overcome the world. But yes, and so I want to show you this Black American, because I want to break down these codes. I'm gonna be saying some heavy shit. I'm gonna be showing you some heavy stuff. If you're not there yet, I understand. You will get there, or you come back. Like, there are times where people have left some heavy shit, and I had to watch it 3, 4, 5, 6 times just to understand it. Literally. And so this may be one of those moments, unless you are already well versed with certain cosmology, mystery sciences and cosmology, including quantum mechanics. Like, we about to break their video down. And I know these ladies probably wasn't thinking that hard about it, but here's the thing, like, you can have builder energy within your DNA. So I don't know if these ladies are craftswomen in terms of understanding like the Kabbalist magic in their work, or if or if they do understand it and they're creating it themselves, or it's some type of epigenetic stuff going on. Because sometimes you have that too. And now we're talking about there's different type of when I say Kabbalist energy, not in the sense where you probably believe, like the reversed engineered type of thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ancient melanated energy of which this stuff derives from, the 125th dimension, which is that was created by women. And so some of these things are already in our epigenetics. We understand them, and we won't have to necessarily go and study or be initiated or anything. So I'm wondering if these ladies sat down and carved this video out like that, or if someone did it for them, or if they actually studied and put everything together. But for me, I feel like this video is deep. The song is deep, and I may have to mute the sound during the playback for copyright reasons, but I had to show this to you guys. So we'll start. I know I'm long with it. We'll start now. Okay. So now you the first scene, you obviously see some blue human, blue. This could be looked at as some of the some of the ancient primordials were blue. That's where you have like they were pitch black blue though. Like your Krishnas, your Hanumans, your Kalimas, those type of primordial energies. But this is a female walking on the clouds, and then you see like what looks like a kite. This is obviously a Merkaba sign, but for those that's watching, it just looks like a kite. Just some females walking on the clouds. So let's just take a deeper look into this.
So sweet and you sway, so we stop and we go. While we had anyway, I just thought you should know that I don't share your moments. When those good times are going, let's all run through the feeling. Bear with me.
Okay, so this is traversing through a certain like stratosphere. So obviously this kite symbol is the Merkaba, which is the soul. This black woman walking on the cloud. She's showing this is a primordial energy. That blue figure, that's the Negus, that's the Negas energy of the ancient primordials. This is a female though. But look at this Merkaba, this yellow color. It also stands for the sun as well. We'll get into that because you have we're going to get into some of the yin and yang and the moon and the sun and what that means for the divine masculine and divine feminine. We'll get into that a little later in this video, but we'll continue to watch this. Let's look at it. Okay, boom. This is the dissension from, obviously she's in the sky, but now there's some dissension. Now you see that sun that was on, that was like the divine masculine that was walking along with her, but it was a form of her creation. But now look at this man sitting at this benched on the ground, near the tree. And now you see another, like this, again, this is a Merkaba. This looks like a kite. Obviously you will say it's a kite, but this is a symbol for the Merkaba, and it's attached to this tree right here. So now there was some sort of there's some sort of dissension. Blue figure, female walking on the clouds, and now somehow you see the sun that was with her, this Merkaba, the yellow Merkaba. Now we see a man sitting on a bench grounded with the blue Merkaba, symbolized for the moon, attached to a tree. This around the tree roots, that's from the roots of the ground. This is a dissension. I told y'all that there was a war between the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the last video of the divine feminine series, the Galactic War. That this is what this is a breakdown of, the dissension from the sky level, heavenly realm, the different the stratosphere down to a denser frequency. It's not necessarily a bad thing if you can't get out, but if you lose your own sense of divinity, then it is a bad thing. But here you have a man. Again, I told you on that book, the Galactic Queen Mothership Part 3, how it all popped off and what the Fallen Watchers, who led the charge. It was a divine masculine. He dragged them down here on this planet Earth, and now you have the Merkaba, which is the moon, the female, the divine feminine, dragged down too, stuck on in a tree, connected to a tree. Now, again, you say that you could just look at this as a human and say, "Oh, that's just a kite. That's just a man sitting." But let's look further. Let's go deeper, because it's gonna get deeper. Watch this.
Carry on, we'll see. Since we won't know the way we'll
Drinking some type of coffee. That's the cup that you drink coffee. Coffee is a stimulant. A certain it affects certain aspects of the brain that can help. Believe it or not, it does a lot with your frequency. Coffee, as far as the pituitary gland and the pineal gland, effects on the pituitary. I was just reading about how the coffee affects that. Now, obviously, they say your pineal gland is the seat of their soul, whatever. But there's some scuttlebutt whether it's the pituitary gland or the pineal gland or whatnot. But the caffeine in coffee it stimulates the pineal gland. Okay, and it produces stress hormones. It signals to adrenal gland, so it can mess with your frequency. And so you see this guy, he's messing with the frequency. This coffee, this divine masculine that has descended from clearly down on planet Earth, has this coffee that's affecting his pituitary gland, his pineal gland. But look at the way he's holding it. Yeah, this is what affects the pituitary. It's all cold, so it's not. You're not supposed to actually think like, oh, coffee. Yeah, yes, coffee really does affect it, but this is all symbolism. I want to make that clear. This is a symbolism for the descension of melanated people. So yes, it affects the hypothalamic, pituitary, and adrenal axis. You must know that, and that means it affects your consciousness. If it's increasing cortisol, that means it's going to lower your frequency. So now we're dealing with lower frequency. This planet Earth is 3D. You just see this lady walking from the sky, and all of a sudden there's some man sitting down on the ground in a bench.
carry on for me. You'll never have to wonder if we're up or we're under. Carry on in me.
So now we're seeing a union. Now we have the divine masculine, divine feminine, Merkaba, the yellow and the blue, sun and moon. Okay, so there's some sort of shift in the frequency. There's some sort of breaking. There's something going on. We just seen the spirit, the wind. We just saw some wind go past this guy. Now we see a cube. It's a white cube, not a black cube. Now you can tell this is a black human because they got him blue. This is another representation of the Nagus, snake, Draco, melanated humans, which many of you Black Americans have the DNA of. You call them Fallen Watchers, whatever. But yes, you see this black skin. It's supposed to, blue is obviously you look at some of the avatars. They didn't paint them green, but like obviously that's the energy of that. That's what that avatar primordial energy. I'll just say that. And so this blue is definitely a symbol of melanin. Now he's holding this cube. It's not a black cube, it's a white cube, but look at how it shifts. Now everybody know about the black cube. Well, maybe you don't know, but there's some esoteric sciences about the black cube. I'm not getting into all that in this video. But this is a white cube, so that's interesting. A black man holding a white cube. Or melanated being, rather. Because it's not black in a sense, but melanated. Now look at this male holding this. Look at this melanated male holding this white cube, and look at what happens. Now we get black and white cube. There's certain ways you can handle. There's a certain. I won't even get into that science. It's not important. Now look at this. This is now the quantum tunneling. They're going through this cube. This cube that was started turning black and white. Started black and white, black and white, black and white. Now look at this quantum tunneling. You gotta go back up. Now you see the sun, the divine masculine, this Merkaba, his soul is quantum tunneling through this cube. The black and white cube, they saw it switching in through parallel. You could look at that as duality. But look at this Merkaba, which is what the kite looks like, right? Look at him quantum tunneling and look where it leads you to. So you guys just follow me. Just hang in there. If I'm losing you, just follow me. Just wait. Divine feminine. Going back to the divine feminine. Plasma. Divine feminine. This is plasma energy. Now watch this. That's how you get out into the universe. You got a quantum tunnel. This is what see how the divine masculine had to go through a cube, quantum tunnel, got a black cube. Now you got to research your esoteric sciences on this. If I lost you, if you don't understand what the black cube, white cube, and all, that's something you got to study on your own. But you see how he went through that quantum tunnel. You see how they went through the divine feminine. They went through contrast, went through the plasma to get to what? The universe. Watch this. This is where black folk come from. Melanated Black American. That's where you come from. The cosmos. Now watch this. Circle, the womb. It's the vagina. Anybody that knows what a circle, in the esoteric sciences, the circle refers to affinity, refers to the divine feminine. Now you see all this electromagnetic energy, this electromagnetism. You see all this. Look at the star energy, sparks. Since we won't know way, resonance, Heka. See, Heka is more so vibration of the voice, but that looks more so like a wind in the cosmo realm. So this is like resonance. I would say it is more so than Heka. You'll see that. Now you see that thunder, that electrostatic, that electromagnetic energy. Look at, you see that static. Now who we about to reveal? Who we about to reveal? Y'all know I'm in my bag right now. Who we about to reveal? That black motherfucking woman. See, these ladies, they know some shit. I was so impressed when I saw this video. I said, who came up with this shit? I said, oh my gosh. Now the 3 black women's at that. It's center of the cosmos. You see that black man, he was holding it. They was ascended. There was a dissension due to the war on the divine feminine, the overthrow of the great matriarchy. Black man sitting on the bench with the damn divine feminine Merkaba stuck in the damn tree. And then he holding this cube, black cube, white cubes. It goes black and white, black and white. And he started quantum tunneling. You see the divine masculine, the yellow Merkaba, which is symbolized for the sun, quantum tunnel all the way out through the divine feminine, all the way to where the galaxy, the universe. And you see the electromagnetic frequencies, star energies, divine feminine, the chaos intelligence, black melanin. And then you get what? Then they show these 3 black women's. And y'all think this is a game. and y'all think it's funny to shit on the black women. Oh, the black man hates the black woman, all this stuff, gender wars, and white people letting to fuck with the black woman. Yeah, I think it's funny. I told y'all, Kubaba, who was the first ancient in the Divine Feminine series. I'm gonna say the Divine Feminine part 12, part 13 or 14. I can't remember. No, I think it's part 11 or part 12. I talk about who was the oldest god on this planet, Kubaba. And we talked about all different types of divine feminine archetypes and iconography and goddesses. You can look at that in the Nocti Queen Mothership part 3. But if you think that they didn't just put this there, you just thought this was just random, this is stuff I've been saying. And so when I actually just saw this video is old, but actually just like was watching it today, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, it's some black women's that know some shit. Thank God. And their name is King, but King means female pharaoh. A lot of people don't know that. That again, they reversed engineered everything on this planet to try to steal the power of the divine feminine. But king, they calling themselves kings. They also have no knowledge. Not they're trying to be men. They're trying to steal men. This is a title that related to females originally. The term king. Men how you see king, and now women use queen, and whatever, it's fine like that. But for those of us that know, that really, really know, just like Pharaoh also relates to divine feminine, and we had male pharaohs as well. Yeah. So they're calling themselves king, and then this is directed by Veronica Solomon. So Solomon, Solar Man, she got to be of the bloodline, and somebody put this video together knowing some shit. In a Kabbalah sense, whether that was through their epigenetics or they actually sat down and wanted to put this out esoterically. But that was some deep ass shit. They talked about, they literally showed you the ascension to the descension to the reascension and how do you ascend. And they literally gave this out to Black Americans and Black people for them to figure this shit out. And they are not mainstream because they will not sell out. They will not sell their soul for fame and fortune. And so they had to create their own opportunities, but they are so talented and so gifted and so brilliant that obviously they have been able to create their opportunities and do what they love and keep it pure. And I love listening to King's music because, again, when I'm listening to their shit, I feel the spirit. I feel it. So let's just rewind that again. I just want y'all to see that cube again. Pay attention. Divine masculine, divine feminine, that Merkaba, that's what that kite symbolizes. Sun and the moon. Here we at with the cube again. Black cube, white cube. Quantum tunneling. Now, this is the divine masculine, his soul of the sun. This is the Merkaba of the sun, of the divine masculine quantum tunneling. They're trying to teach them the proper way to get up into ascension instead of this bullshit that y'all got going on down here now. String theory. You can look at this as the string field of the universe, the string theory. Plasma. This seems to be like maybe some sort of horizontal vertical energy. Like this could be the refractory lights of the spectrums of certain stars that give, obviously the sun. That's like when you look at a prism through a glass and you see the rainbow and all the colors. We can look at that as this part. These squares, I forgot that I came to a conclusion of what this was earlier, but I forgot. But we were looking at some sort of fractal prism at this part. Now we back out in space. That's how you get out of here. That's how you get out of planet Earth. That's how you ascend. That's how you get out of the matrix. Through the divine feminine. That's all she's trying to say. But look at these. Look what pops up. These Merkabas. There's the souls that are in line with the divine feminine, that are in tune with the primordial energies, essence. Look at this electromagnetic frequency. Look at this resonance. It's like a ripple wave. This is time travel as well. This also be a symbol for time travel. the ripple waves of the different ages of the universe itself. You can look at that. For those that's really, really advanced, you can decode this and see that this also relates to fucking time travel. And look at the different souls, the Merkabas on the different waves of the phases of the universe. Now, if you're outside of observing this, time doesn't exist at this point. But if you're in this, the idea that you gain awareness from consciousness is what creates time, because you know that the only thing that's on this planet that ever does change is that is permanent is change. The only thing that's ever permanent in this dimension is change. And so that is what creates the idea of time, or the illusion of time, as a internal organization mechanism for entropy, for the expanding nature of the universe. That's what that's for. And so you see these souls that's on these ripples, you can look at that as, oh shit. They teaching us some shit about time travel too. Especially if you know about, Brother Sanchez just broke it down about divine masculine and divine feminine, the sun and the moon. Pretty much if you go counterclockwise, you create a vortex that sends your ass up to the higher dimension that can also create time travel as well. So this is some deep ass shit. These sisters ain't these women ain't no joke. These are some bad women. I mean, I don't know who come up with this video idea, but they had somebody else coming forward with them. Veronica Solomon came up with it. Whoever came up with this shit is a motherfucking G. I'm telling you straight up, they bad. Because they sure enough is teaching me some shit. Now we get the electromagnetic frequencies.
Since we won't know the way we'll carry on.
We get our resonance, we get our electromagnetic frequencies and our resonance, what I told you was the fifth governing law of the universe. Now watch this. Now we get a chance to look at the primordial God figures itself. Now there are we could look at it, say a primordial mother or holy spirits or this is the primordial Godhead of the Godhead. It's about to pop up.
If we're up or we're under, carry on in me. Carry on with me.
This is the black woman who created resonance and electromagnetism and they put it just right there, dead in front of you. And there is a council in the chaos intelligence realm. And on Saturn, there is a council. It's not just Galactic Federation. There is a GIA, which is a Galactic Intelligence Agency that is ran through Saturn, that also has ties to this chaos intelligence dimension. It is a dimension. It is not a planet in the way that you guys think. And so these ladies, yes, there is a councils at the highest level. So that's why they put three of them. But even beyond that, there is a primordial figure. But they're represented this chaos, cosmic, melanated, divine feminine energy. And that just means dark matter. That's why there's darkness. That's why they're in the galaxy. That's why you see this Merkaba soul around out there in the galaxy. That's what that symbol is right there. They singing through what? Resonance. You see that wind again? That little cosmic wind, that's resonance. They singing, they hecka. Carry on. Now we're going to break down them lyrics too. These are some bad sisters, boy. You never have to wonder if we're up or we're under. It's as above and so below. It goes away once you transcend it into the galactic cosmos of being. We got to break down these lyrics to something else too, boy. That's how I know whoever put this video together and these lyrics, they made this just for me. I'm just playing. But I feel like they made this just for our people, just for like, I feel like they was really trying to get this message out for the divine feminine, and they knew it was going to be some people that pick up on it. They was trying to really get a message out of this divine feminine and Black Americans and melanated cosmology. And that, to me, I'm just like, my hat's off to them. And they are independent ladies. So they not trying to push no agenda. And this is some deep ass shit. And I know it flew over a lot of people's head. They just think it's some damn kite, a blue kite and a yellow kite. And, oh, there's a guy holding a cube. And then there's some cool little graphics. This is so deep. I hope they don't mind me breaking their shit down like this. Spiral. That's also relates to your sacred geometry and your Fibonacci, but as well as, once again, the divine feminine always communicates in spirals. Different dimension, interdimensional travel. Look at all that resonance in it. That wind is the resonance. This is then I think you're in the cosmos, but this is how the resonance looks. And then obviously you saw the electromagnetic. Now, once again, they're traversing back on their own terms, on a voluntary manner, back into a density. This is the 3D. But look at this. They go into a house. They see what this is kind of androgynous because it looks kind of like the divine masculine, but also when it goes up closer, it looks like divine feminine. But they're in this old shoddy house in a 3D realm. Look at this again. On a voluntary basis, they have traversed back to the 3D. You see, the reason why I said that I don't know if this is like a divine masculine or divine feminine, because right here it looks like divine masculine, right? But then look at this one. It kind of looks feminine right there at that part. See, that kind of looks feminine. The arms are chopped off, but you see like it looks like to be like breast. So that's why I couldn't tell if it's divine feminine or divine masculine. Like right there, I can't really tell if that's like the divine masculine or divine feminine. It could be both. It could be trying to show like some type of androgyny. But look at this. This is a broken human. This is a lost. This is a broken, no legs, no arms. There's a broken, obviously, the broken statue, a 3D, 2D. It's not even 3D. It's, the statue's what? 2D, 3D figure, statue. It comes alive. Look at this. Now it's disappeared. And now we're going back up to the ascension, back up the stairs of ascension. Up to more resonance, air and frequency, air and water. This is a different, this is up to a higher level. So that's the divine masculine right there. That's the divine masculine's ascension. So I guess that would be that statue figure that we saw. That's more a divine masculine, because now he's ascending. She came back. They went to go and ascend up to, and that's a different stratosphere. It's not the galaxy, but it's the like the air. It's still more resonance. And now they're united. Divine masculine, divine feminine, sun and moon united. And they go off into another plane of existence. So that was deep. And so that's what was the message I have for you, the Black Americans. I told you I wanted to give you a message from the age of divine feminine as well. And so here's the lyrics. This is King. This is the three Black women's. I love that song. I thought that song was so nice. So here we go. So swing and we sway. So we swing and we sway. That's the symbolism of the kites that you saw in the video, the blue and the yellow macabres. So we stop and we go while we're finding our way. I just thought you should know that I love sharing moments when the good times are going. Let's hold on to that feeling. Let's hold on to the frequency of the good times. Bear with me for the being. Those that know that after you set your intentions and after you surrender, you have to go into being. So this is like more of a meditative state. Let's hold on to let's meditate on a good frequency, a high frequency of being. Carry on, care for me. So carry on, care for me. This is kind of like a code for showing, how you help other people out of that dissension and ascension. Carry on and we'll see. Since we won't know the way, well, we'll carry on carefully. And so obviously when we see them traversing through the from the 3D to the galaxy realm, that's the unknown. We won't know the way. We'll carry on carefully. When you're quantum tunneling and when you're going through different dimensions, it is uncertain. There is the unknown. But once you get out to that galaxy and become, once again, if you're holding on to a good good times, if you're holding on to a high frequency in your being, good times are going, let's hold on to that feeling. Bear with me for the being. So if you are a high vibrational frequency as a being, you're in the present moment, you're not connected to the material realm. You're not connected to false personas and airs, and you're truly connected to the being, just the being of this bliss consciousness. Once you get to that level of bliss consciousness, you won't know, the way per se. So but you'll never have to wonder if you're up or will under. You're just being. You carry on and will be. All you have to do is just be love. Carry on. I'm trying to carry on, care for me. So we're carrying on. We're traversing through this earth, this planetary dimension. We're traversing through 3D, 4D, 5D, 60, 70. We're traversing through consciousness, where we are traveling interdimensionally, even through consciousness, from lower realms to higher frequencies, even still while being in the meat suit. And we're helping one another ascend on their ascension path. That's why you're care for me. Keep up with my love. That's deep. Keep up with my love. Love is a very powerful frequency. We're looking at 600 hertz, 528 hertz. That's one of the higher frequencies beyond enlightenment. Now, being is your enlightenment. This right here, being, if you are in a state of being and bliss consciousness, that is your enlightenment. That you never have to wonder if you're up or we're under, if you're up or down, so that the idea of duality disappears. The idea of contrast disappears. Up and down, above, so below. That disappears at the transcendence level of holding on to that being. Bear with me for the being. When the good times are feeling, let's hold on to that frequency. The feeling is an emotional, qualitative state that relates to a frequency. And so once you get to that stage, you don't have to wonder if you're up or you're under, if there's up and down, contrast, taxonomy. You don't have to worry about that. And you do have the power and the voluntary will to go and help others ascend. You could carry on and will be. Carry on, care for me, and keep up with my love. You have to keep up with the love frequency in order to get there. And so these ladies who have decided to go independent, stay independent with their music, and use their music as a ministry to help people ascend, to help people find love, and to help people find their way back to their own souls. And their music has done that for me. They have a song called Red Eye. That's another code for your pineal gland. Red eye. Let's take a red eye. They have that song. When you look at the lyrics, and then you talk about the red eyes, refers to the Bindu, that like a lot of the Hindus wear with their red eye on that dot or the third eye. It's a code. It's not like literally it's get on a plane. They're talking about more travel. We have so much more to explore, too much more to uncover. The third eye, the red eye, to catch a red eye. Let's catch a red eye. But they're talking about the pineal gland. So these ladies are some bad mama jammas, boy. I love their music. And I love the spirit that I feel in their music. It's very high vibrational. So keep up with my love. Keep up. It's the Black woman, primordial beings are telling you have to keep up with the love frequency. Hold on to the good times. Let's hold on to that feeling of being. Being is the state of enlightenment that just refers to you're meditating on those high frequencies. You're maintaining a good frequency as well. As you swing, as we sway, as we go through the ebbs and flow of life, permanence and impermanence, as we stop. So we stop and we go. What is in the Nocti philosophy? I always teach you guys the only thing that you know for certain is that the state of content, as in terms of being aware, is impermanence and duality. That is the nature of V2. That's the nature of content. As we stop and we go, it's permanence and impermanence. So we stop and we go. That's a code for the divine masculine and divine feminine as well. If you know anything about the esoteric sciences, you have your the divine feminine, believe it or not, as looking at being seen as the impermanence, and the permanence as the male. That's the Shiva and the Kali. So we stop and we go. So we swing and we sway. That's the pendulum. So that is also a symbol for the divine masculine, divine feminine. So we stop, which would be the Shiva permanence, and we go, which would be the impermanence. That is the way that the universe works. It is a balance of ebb and flow, constant permanence and impermanence simultaneously. That's the divine masculine and divine feminine and esoteric sciences. That's part of melanated way. That's not the Western world's view. A lot of Black Americans, you want to copy the Western world's view. That's why your shit's so fucked up. That's why melanated people are so fucked up all over the globe, because they won't get back to their own sciences, which is the age of the primordial mother. And you guys want to deny it. You guys overthrow matriarchy and queen mothership, and that's where you're at. Where you're at. And we tried to warn you and try to tell you. And now those days are done, because we're in the age of Saturn, which is also a crone mother, which is the age of a Kali Ma. Now you guys say, oh, we believe in the age of Kali Yuga. Yeah, Kali Yuga don't refer to Kali Ma. And yeah, your ass is going right into the age of Kali Ma. So what you going to do about it? Nothing. You can't handle those powers. You can't fuck with Saturn. You damn sure can't fuck with the Chaos Intelligence realm. And you damn sure can't fuck with the IIMS team. You damn sure can't fuck with the GIA, which relates to it. Y'all really want to go there? Y'all really want me to get you some codes? Relates to the Atlantean DNA and your Black American ass. Now, all of you have Atlantean DNA. Some of you are just NPCs. Some of you Black Americans are NPCs with no inner monologue, but a lot of us are not. A lot of us do have our stuff intact, and we may not have awakened all of our dormant DNA, but it's there. So we letting you know in 2024 is about to get real. And this video is old as hell, and these ladies was giving out these codes like that, because they know a nigga like me was gonna wake up and see it, and many other of us was gonna wake up and actually be able to read through these codes and see it. And so these ladies are they awesome. And so yes, Black American, it is time. It is the Juneteenth, obviously. And our ancestors, they want so much more for us than what we've ever wanted for ourselves, but they only going to do it through the right high frequencies. Again, good times are going. Let's hold on to that feeling. Bear with me for the being. High frequencies. We're not doing no low governing force. We're not doing shady ass deals, shady contracts, shady nothing. Those days are done as Black Americans. You get yourself out of that stuff. You know what I mean? Walking away from fame and fortune, walking away from anything don't matter, because you want to travel intergalactically. You want to travel and traverse your soul as free as possible. And only you can do that. And it don't matter what kind of situation you think you're in, you can always get out of it. And it doesn't matter what you think, you have done. You can always redeem yourself. You don't need permission from no one else, or even for those that may have have really lost their way. But for those of us that are concerned with our utmost sovereignty as far as our soul, on our soul level, this is the way that our ancestors believe in. They don't believe in the current structure, but they know they're going to take over it, and they know that for those that are wanting to, or not even wanting to, but have the bloodlines and the wherewithal and the intergalactic mentalism and original monarch mentalism of various archetypes in their dimensions, they are the rightful heirs to this system. They don't need they're not going to be MK Ultra. They're not going to be none of that. They're going to be running this shit right from their dome, like they've been doing, and they're going to delegate it just like how King Solomon did when he built them temples with his rings, and he had those jinns and them demons build that shit for him. Now you could look at it as jinn and demon as a bad thing, or however you want to look at it. I'm not here to argue or debate that. I'm talking about he didn't lift a finger to build the shit he wanted to build, the temple he wanted to build. He did it all from the dimensions of consciousness, or archetypes of the consciousness of the original monarch mentalism that him and King David and that whole bloodline knows, all the way up to, and that came from women. That came from the, I don't even want to get into all this. I'm scary y'all, freak y'all out. Nonetheless, that can be looked at as allegorical too, but it's real shit. As far as how melanated people got to get back in power. And it's through your monarch mentalism. It's through the original version, not this bullshit satanic shit that they got going on down here. And so, yes, it's going to be a lot of things being revealed to you. You about to know that you're interdimensional. You about to know that it's been beings on this planet that's been amongst you for thousands and thousands of years. They ain't never went nowhere. They was hiding behind the scenes. But then again, a lot of them are not the rightful heirs, and a lot of them are dishonoring a treaty that they signed thousands of years ago, including these reptilians. They got to get the fuck up out of Dodge and pass that shit over to the Draco Black American bloodlines. It is what it is. It is what it is. And they are the rightful heirs. And I'm only speaking for America. I know Africa got their own thing that they going through their transition too. There's a transition over there too. And I know that there's got to be more female presidents running over in Africa as well. Nigeria, you know what? I like what y'all did. Now, they ain't none of my business. Y'all ain't none of my, I know y'all tell me to mind my Black American business, and y'all used to call me arrogant and stuff. Africans, they used to say, I used to rag on me. But I have to say this. I do respect that y'all changed that laws over there in Nigeria. You went back to the divine feminine matriarchal laws regarding what happens when you essay a woman. They just passed these laws in Nigeria where if you essay a woman or touch a child, you get your penis cut off, castrated, and you get death penalty. This is what they doing over there in Nigeria. They just passed this because they know that that's how it wasn't originally. They probably didn't know that, but I remember I was waking up in the Nazi Queen mothership, matriarchies in Africa. The Igbo tribe and the Yoruba tribe, like back in the day, like we talking about like hundreds of years ago, the women used to cut off the dude's penis if there was ever type of, you know, grape, you know what rhymes with grape. If they were doing that to the women, oh yeah, your thing was getting chopped off and you was going to die and get beat. And so, because it was just so rare for that to happen. And so I'm glad they bringing them days back. And there's a group of men that I think their parliament, I forgot who had set it up, but I thought that was dope that they had passed that, because they want to send a message, like, and I felt like they was sending a message to their primordial ancestors and their primordial gods, like, okay, we hear you, we hear that we going into the age of the divine feminine, like we got to protect these women and these children. And so them men, they had came up with that crazy ass laws over there. They just passed them like 2 weeks ago. Like if you get caught raping a woman, your peen getting chopped off and it's a death penalty. If you get caught touching a child, your peen getting cut off and it's a death penalty. And so that's great. That's a start. That's what we need to protect these women. And now, because Africa, particularly Nigeria, they had back in the day. And I'm telling you, I got these oral histories. It's not me just trying to speak for them or trying to infantilize them. I have these documents from their women themselves, the elders, and their elders had said that it was very rare for a woman to be raped in Nigeria, and all of a sudden they had one of the highest rapings. And so I'm glad they cracked down on that, because you don't go from when you were in the matriarchy, you'll have no counts of rape rape and essay assaults on women and children. And then when you get colonized, when you overthrow the matriarchy, then you get colonized. Then your raping skyrocket. Nah, that's again that we're talking about the dissension. That's a dissension of consciousness. And so what those brothers did over there, that is a start. That is a great start to getting back in alignment with this divine feminine. And I know they like, bitch, you're American over there. What you talking about? You all up in our grill. You all up in our business. I don't give a damn, because I like to see that these ladies is getting protected, especially this black women's, melanated women's. I really like to see that. So, that's definitely a great start. And we're going to see more and more and more of those type of things all over the world. All this, they try to pass some stoning of women over inside of y'all gonna get y'all motherfucking act together too. How dare y'all sit up there and pray to a black cube and go in and see Mecca and the disrespecting women the way y'all disrespecting women? Y'all clearly don't know about a lot. Y'all clearly are out of order. And so it's gonna be a lot of things on this planet that switch up. It changes for the better for the black Americans and the melanated people. But we got to stand strong. We got to stand on righteousness, because you got all the energy and all the power. I'm telling you, I know for a fact. I've seen it. I felt it. I know it. I have it myself. Like, we got the energies on our side. But if y'all going to sit up there and sell each other out, abuse one another, desecrate the divine feminine, go along with the satanic system, sell your soul and all these things, have sex magic that trade your essence for a deal and money. Oh yeah, you ain't getting no motherfucking ancestors on your side with that. We ain't working on your behalf for that. We ain't gonna work. We ain't lifting a motherfucking finger to get you nowhere if you out here doing some sherm shit. You out here desecrating yourself and desecrating our name. Other than that, we are there for you. I'm telling you, it's so many of us. It's thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of what you would never imagine, ready to move for our people. But if y'all gonna sit up there, be trying to sacrifice innocent, like I'm telling y'all, like I already know how this shit work. That out, like y'all trying to sacrifice people, y'all trying to sell people out, innocent people out, doing some COINTELPRO shit. Y'all trying to roll with controlled opposition niggas and all that shit. Now y'all ain't gonna get nothing. Everything we'll just be on standby. Shit, we could chill. We done ascended. We done did a lot of stuff on this planet already. and we already ascended. So I'm not fully ascended. I'm just speaking kind of through a channeling right now. But yeah, we can chill. Yeah, we got time. Shit, I go watch what Mr. Beast or what will I go watch? Damn shows or whatever till y'all get y'all shit together. Because the thing is, you need energy. It's not all this physical stuff that y'all think y'all got to do. You need the mind, you need energy. But if I go out there and I assess and I'm listening to you guys and I'm watching you, I've been watching y'all asses for a long time. Been watching every single last Black American. And when I be seeing y'all do, I say, oh no, okay, y'all not ready. I'll wait till y'all ready. Y'all ain't about to get y'all. Shit, I almost got my ass motherfucking killed several times already. Already on all types of bullshit I had to deal with for the way I be talking and the shit I be saying. Hecka is more important than anything on this planet. Your consciousness. Your consciousness is the most important thing that you got. That's why they say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. That's why the first thing they don't go attack is your mental plane in witchcraft. That's why when they want to discredit someone, they tell them that they're crazy so you can dismiss them. Shit. Y'all go along with that if y'all want. I know that you bitch ass nigga, I'm talking to you because I already know your ass is listening. You sit up there and want to go and write me, talk about, oh, you a crazy bitch. Look, keep playing with this divine feminine. Keep playing. Because you barking on territory you have nothing, you don't know nothing about, you fucking reptilian. And you think I don't know who you are, and I do. And I'm keeping it a secret. I ain't gonna put your shit out there. But I'm telling my people, like, no, don't let's stop the bullshit. I'm speaking in code. I am speaking to a specific person. So if I lost you, don't mind me. But I'm just letting this nigga know. You need to stop playing on my top. And you need to stop playing on Black Americans' top. Because we're going to demand more in the coming years. So what you going to do? Either you're going to ride with us or your ass is going to go down with this Baphomet satanic ass system. You think we playing with your black ass. I'm speaking to you niggas that be trying to line niggas like me up for your pay to take a deal. No, we ain't doing that. We are the primordial energies of this planet. You are out of order. Anybody that think they can do some shit like that, you out of order. Okay, so it's Juneteenth. I want you guys to have a great day. What you gonna eat? So what y'all got? Y'all got black eyed peas. Y'all got. I know y'all. What y'all don't cook? Shit. Get. Can I get a plate? I just play. But yeah, Juneteenth. That's what it's at. I'm so happy that we've had the Juneteenth. We didn't need them to do no federal holiday. I told y'all in Buffalo, we've been getting busy with this. In Buffalo, I mean, I'm telling you, this video is 9 years old. And I'm telling you, they just said that we've been celebrating Juneteenth in Buffalo for 40 years, literally since the fucking 80s. When I was a little ass kid, this is where I used to go to as a little ass kid. Every year as a little ass kid, this is where I was at Martin Luther King Park. I used to live on Norway Street. That's around the corner from Martin Luther King Park. That's a 4-minute walk. Yeah, when I was a little ass kid, I used to go. They had a basketball courts, and they got a big ass Martin Luther King statue. They got sprinklers. And I was like 7 years old. I used to walk. 7 to 8 years old, I used to walk from Norway, which is a 4-minute walk, to this Martin Luther King Park. We used to have good times, and this is where the Juneteenth festival is always at. And there used to be thousands of Black Americans going there because what? It's our chance to get some damn fried dough, see some dancing, like the drills. I just showed you the Crusaders that was drilling and stuff. It's a time to chat. But see, them knuckleheads, they was using, see how it's chill right here, children and elders. When I was like around, I want to say 12, 13, 14, 15, they was using the Juneteenth to go and fight. So I'm so glad they nipped that shit in the bud. That's the Buffalo Science Museum right there in the back. That's the Buffalo Science Museum is right by the Martin Luther King Park too. And I used to go to that Buffalo Science Museum quite a bit. It's a nice museum. It's not a bad museum at all. It's a pretty cool museum. They got a lot of gemstones and shit like that. They tell you about like a lot of the gemstones and shit. When I was a little kid, I used to want to take them crystals so bad, man. That's why I love crystals so much. That was my first time actually getting into crystals at the Buffalo Science Museum. They show all these different geodes, the amethyst and all this shit, citrine and stuff. They show you all the different crust of the earth and all that. Oh man, that was my introduction to crystals as like I was like 6 years old. And at this Buffalo Science Museum, which is right in the quote unquote, it's not the hood, but it's in a Black American neighborhood. But not every, we don't consider, and Buffalo is different. Buffalo is very different than other cities when we talk about like hood and Black areas and all this stuff. We do have a hood though. Make no mistake about it. But yeah, this is the Buffalo Science Museum right there in the back, right there, that building. And so they stop all that. I'm glad they got it in control. All that I was about to say all that, all that damn fighting. Oh, that shit used to piss me off. I mean, we literally, like, sometimes it had to be closed down because they was a shootout. So that was ridiculous. Like, you see all these people having a good time. Another thing, believe it or not, that a lot of Black Americans used to like to go. See, that's the basketball court. I used to play at this basketball court when I was a little ass kid too. As another thing, the Black Americans like to go to the Juneteenth because they like to they have like a lot of grilling. You know, a lot of Black Americans don't grill in the Buffalo. They grill in the South. I grew up, we always grill. And we do grill, but I'm just saying, like, that's a time to also get like some really good grilled foods, like grilled ribs, Chevette's chicken. What's the other one? Believe it or not, like stuff like with Italian sausage and Polish sausage grilled. You know, a lot of Black Americans used to love to get that too. And probably still do. I'm not sure. Even though we can make that on our own, but we're not really known for like grilling like a lot of sausages and stuff. Yeah, but that's the Crusaders. That's the Crusaders. They a drill team. They always do some drilling. But let's see what they got if they have some new stuff, because that's a 9-year-old video. Let's see what this is 2 days ago. So let's see what they're doing as of 2 days ago. So I guess I guess we still got some Pan-Africanisms. Because this is 2 days ago. But I ain't gonna hold you. Like, this is just what, like, Buffalo, you know. I mean, some of us do the delineation in Buffalo, but a lot of the Black Americans, they are still in a coma bus. And you know, I'm not against a Black American that would decide to still do, you know, the Pan-African, even though it's not my thing, and I stand on everything I said about Pan-Africanism, but that doesn't mean I don't that I have disrespect for melanated people. Obviously, that's not the case. But as far as my people, Black Americans, you still want to do this, to each his own. I think it's a little misdirected and misguided, but at the same time, I understand it. So I'm not here to judge. That's on J.N.S Street. I ain't gonna hold you. J.N.S is kind of hood, you know. I'm telling you that this is how Buffalo get down. We've been doing this for decades with this Juneteenth shit. Like, it's really a big deal.
Hey everyone, good morning. I'm Jocelyn Person, and if you're just getting up, please go ahead and wash your face, brush your teeth, and come join us here at
that wash your face and brush your teeth.
The 49th annual Buffalo Juneteenth.
49th annual, 49 years. That's this. We've been celebrating this shit literally since like the 70s.
The Juneteenth parade is just getting started here near J.N.S Street and Ivy. There will be tons of floats passing through. There are tons of people here right now. They've been here since earlier this morning, and the floats will be heading down all the way to Martin Luther King Park to begin those festivities all day today, heading tomorrow. And if you're planning to come down here now to watch the parade, please note that the J.N.S Street is closed from Bailey to Best Street. Fillmore
Bailey and Best Street. Now, those are our stomping grounds. If you Black American in Buffalo, you know that's the hood stomping grounds. Well, Best Street's not really the hood, but Bailey definitely is. And those are my stomping grounds. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm kind of from, I mean, Humboldt is not really the hood. That's where I'm from. But you go right up Delavan, that's the hood. So, I'm from the hood. It is what it is.
Avenue is also closed from J.N.S to East.
You see this lady dancing? You see the sister?
Street. And as you can see, there are some people right now dancing, vibing. It's a vibe right now. And they're just getting ready to.
I'm trying to turn that music down.
Right now. Now, the background. So the parade is part of the Juneteenth Festival of Buffalo. which was started back in 1976 by Build, a community-based organization. Now, this 2-day celebration features food, live
2 days. So we've been doing this for 49. I'm telling you, it was a big deal. I mean, people in Buffalo, when they started making this like a federal holiday, like we started getting like anxiety. Like it was like, oh, they about to ruin our shit. Like they about to take the soul out of our, like we was kind of confused. Like, wait a minute, we've been celebrating this. Like, what do you mean? Like, how is this a big deal? What do y'all mean? Like we couldn't understand it because this was something that people really prepare for the whole motherfucking year, practicing their dancing, practicing their drill. You know what I mean? So it was like, what the hell you mean is you about to make this a federal holiday? What does that mean?
And it's just a vibe right now. I know I kept on mentioning that Buffalo is one of the largest and longest standing Juneteenth. And I'm just going to mention it again. It's one of the largest and longest standing Juneteenth celebration in the country. I don't mean to show off, but
See, now there's more white people there because obviously it's federal holiday and this is 2024. But honestly, growing up, I ain't never see a white person at no damn Juneteenth celebration. I don't know damn Genesee Street, never. So I have to say this is like shocking in my eyes. I know it got to be shocking to the rest of it, but again, it became a federal holiday, so it's more mainstream now.
We're showing off today. Now, this year's Juneteenth theme is "We Are Our Ancestors' Wildest Dreams." Now, the Juneteenth celebrates the end of slavery after the end of the U.S. Civil War, like I've mentioned before. Now,
well, that's Burgard Vocational High School. See, I'm telling you, like this shit right here, seeing some white man on it, I'm telling you, I ain't gonna hold you. That's shocking in my eyes. I ain't even gonna hold you. We ain't never see that growing up.
I never met her. I met her over the phone.
Oh yeah, this is more like that New Orleans feel. Because you gotta remember a lot of the Black Americans are from the South. So let's look at that. I want to see that. Oh, look at the children.
Are there dancers over there? Oh, yep, they're dancing. They're stepping.
Yeah, and so they're stepping. I'm telling you, like people prepare for a whole. Back when I was a kid, this was something that people would prepare for their whole year, so they can get their moment at the Juneteenth parade.
They're actually stepping, not dancing, actually. Look at those young boys go. You got a live band.
Look at that live band. Kind of sounds like New Orleans.
And right behind them. boys go. Look at them. Wow, you saw that split?
See, I tell you, people be preparing for that whole year just so they can show off their little dance. You know, that's what the kids do. These are the youth. And so, you know, is either they do them step, but they have drill, they have also the African dance and the drums too, or the band. So, you know, that's some of the performances. We never really did majorette though. They probably do majorette now, but I don't remember seeing like majorettes of the Juneteenth.
He did that split.
So again, there's a lot of conscious people in Buffalo, but also still a lot of Pan-Africanism as well. Buffalo always been conscious. I remember the Buffalo Urban League. They gave me a scholarship. They give a lot of Black Americans from at Hutch Tech scholarships for college.
We are listening to you and your band.
I used to take drummings too. I was a little ass kid. I was like 6 years old. My granny, she put me in the drumming and she put us in the African dance. And I ain't like neither. I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted to dance to Little Kim as a little kid. I did not take that drumming serious. You know, I mean, it was cool. It was cool. But I just didn't take the drumming serious or the dancing either. I really care for I used to want to do the Cry Baby and shit. And the heel and toe. I know y'all remember the heel and toe. I used to want to do those, but that was my thing. But so I never did get my chance to do the Juneteenth African dance performance because I ended up quitting. I said, I don't want to do this, Granny. And she said, you don't want to do shit. I'm paying for it. You don't want to go. I save money. So we didn't go anymore. But that's funny.
I was mostly talking to you, but I was
Welcome to that skate life, baby! Welcome to that skate life, baby!
That's the drill team. Drill team is always important in Buffalo.
Right here.
That's a classic move. I know y'all saw that one growing up. If you're a Black American, if you ever watched drill, that is a classic move. It is. If you wonder why, like a lot of the stepping in the drill have a lot of military calls, like Eddie's, like those drill, those type of stepping was like communication codes for certain things. That's all I'll say because I don't want to put nobody's business out there because I just know esoterically that a lot of the drill, that's why they call them drills, they were like kind of like a form of military science to communicate with one another. And that's all I'll say. And that's general, that's public information. I didn't give out anything. That's public information, but I'm not going to go into like what each thing means. No, absolutely not. That looked like Wayne Jones. I went to high school with him. With Touch Tech. That is him, I think. Yep, that's him. He's still coaching them Crusaders. It look like. Yep, I think that was Wayne Jones. But you see how like the drill kind of look like more like military stuff? That's where it comes from. And a lot of them, they don't even know the codes that they're using. Crusaders, crusades, the Jacobite wars. That's Sephardic Moorish energy. See, a lot of Black Americans don't know that. That's a part of a hidden history that the government doesn't want Black Americans to know. But you see how it cut through. We got the Crusaders, which is military priesthood. You see the drilling. Black Americans drill in these formations, and their name is the Crusaders, and they don't even know where that stuff come from. But what were the Crusaders? Not the one you probably thinking of, just the white Crusaders, with but obviously that has its role from the Moors that were out there that lost the Jacobite Wars, that came to America, that came to the South. But it's interesting how all that stuff stick with us. But it's interesting. It's definitely something to study as far as, because I know the Crusaders, this drill team, I do think they have ties with some sort of like it's again if you was to trace the history back from where this drill team even comes from in terms and in the codes and the language behind the Crusaders, and then even the drill itself coming from like being a code for covert military science. It's deep. We talk about it going back to the Jacobite Wars and some of the ancestors that Black Americans have. I'm not saying we all share that history by no means. I understand some of you are just indigenous. You ain't got no Black, you ain't got no African. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to tell nobody their story. I'm just saying it's interesting that there will be a group of Black Americans with the Crusaders in Buffalo calling themselves the Crusaders, doing drilling, which is from a form of our old style way of communicating, of our old style of military science. They call themselves the Crusaders, and the Crusaders were some of them that we know were some of the ones that did fight as the Knights Templars that were Black Moors in them Jacobite Wars that had to flee Europe to come to America. And they did ingratiate themselves with the American indigenous over here. And they did do some fucked up shit over here too. But they nonetheless have infiltrated the Black American bloodline, and many Black Americans do have those as their ancestors. So I just find that very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. I bet you I'm going to research this shit too. I'm going to research it too. Now I want to show y'all this. Look at this. If y'all think I'm tripping, I'm so crazy. Look at this. Crusaders. Look at that snake. Draco. They know exactly who they are. These are Sephardic Moors, some of them. It's not all of them. I'm not saying, but look at, they just put it right in front of you. I told y'all there was a group of royal bloodline hiding right amongst Black Americans, hiding right amongst us. I already had try to tell you, wake that up, but I was looked at as the crazy one. And so it all will come out. But it'd be right, it's right in front of you. Drill Teams United of Western New York, the Crusaders. Look at that cobra snake. You think they just put these snakes there for their health, for their benefit? Look at the blue and the yellow. That blue and that yellow is important. Now, I saw that blue and that yellow in that video I was just showing y'all. That, what do y'all think this blue and this yellow mean? They telling you right who they are, who Black Americans are. Some of them. Again, not all of us are a part of this bloodline that I'm talking about. They haven't hid not one bit of it. It's all in code though. So you probably under some subtle MK Ultra can't really see what it all is about. The Crusaders. Buffalo, New York. That's some deep ass shit. It's right in front of us. Let's go back here and look at it.
Thank you. Great job.
They do not hide that. Wow. It took me all these years. I'm 32 years old. I'm just now seeing all this code. This yellow and this blue, that cobra snake, the Crusaders right in front of you. Wow. This used to be like the Crusaders was one of the top. Like if you can make it on their team, you are really a good drill. I don't know what they're doing now, but I remember growing up as a kid, they were kind of like one of the most popular drill teams in Buffalo. I don't know what it is now, but I'm just saying back in the day, that's what it was. I was trying to wake that up. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe. Y'all know what that blue and yellow stand for, right? I mean, obviously we was breaking down that video, carry on with their blue and their yellow, but that's deep. You're gonna see it now. But for those that don't know what it is, they're probably gonna be like, oh, that's sinister. They're trying to promote some type of agenda, but I keep trying to tell you that they stole our sciences, and that's not what it. Whatever you see in the media now about this blue and yellow color, like that show the 33, that's not what it originally meant. That's all I'll say. They used to be more precise than this. When they say halt, you halt. At ease, at ease. Tell her. I mean, I was seeing heads moving all right to left. It used to be. I mean, these motherfuckers, you had to be precise. Where's? I mean, you see, they looking around all over. You know, you really got to. You supposed to stand like military style. Like this shit was so serious back in the day. You know what? I forgot they do still got adults that do the crusaders too. Like they probably been crusading their whole life as far as you see how there's some elders out there. These look like these are clear old ass adults. I think they do still have that. I think they do. They always had them come out. I guess those are just like marshals or something, like the police, but they always had them come out too early. At least they got the colors right. They doing red, black, and white. See that? I know a lot of people that haven't gotten the memo yet. We still doing a lot of. And again, you got to figure Buffalo been doing this for 50 years, so they've been having that red, black, and green for 50 years. You ain't gonna just change that overnight. And them people is old as hell. They don't know nothing about no delineation, but at least some of them probably getting the memo. At least these young, they doing red, blue, and white. So they do have major red. I didn't know. I don't recall ever seeing this growing up, but I think that's cool.
Let's go. 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 Ho. Ho. All-Star
DJ back, DJ back.
So that's on Genesee Street. I want to look for one that's more than Martin Luther King Park because I ain't gonna hold you. It runs from Genesee all the way up to Besson to Martin Luther King Park, but I have to say I never was on the one in Genesee. I always was at the one at the Delaware at the Martin Luther King Park, and so I'm trying to see if they have one. See, they getting the flag right. They getting that flag right.
Well, Juneteenth is just 5 days away now. This is a live look at Niagara Square where the Juneteenth flag is flying high and proudly while the official holiday is next week. Buffalo is kicking off the celebrations, of course, this weekend, and it all starts tomorrow with the annual, always a good time, Juneteenth parade.
Well, Channel 2's Chelsea Swift tells us what to expect as thousands come together to mark the holiday.
One of the biggest Juneteenth festivals in the country returns to Buffalo this weekend, with more than 5,000 people expected to march in the 49th annual Juneteenth parade.
We are expecting over 30,000 people to come to the festival. So people come from, out of town, from multiple states, sometimes even from other countries just to come to our festival. We are going to be just celebrating all things, Buffalo and Blackness. So yeah.
All walks of life, different businesses.
You know what?
Young,
This
old.
coffee shop was at the back of my house. This is the EMT Coffee Cup. This is a Black-owned coffee shop. This is Miss Cat's son. They were literally at the back of my house. Now, if you were like, they were literally like a 30-second walk. This Black-owned coffee shop, and they used to have poultry nights. They used to have poultry every week. And I would literally be able to open up because I was kind of too young to go to this poultry. Imagine like Def Poetry Jam, but in a Black-owned coffee shop, and they had some really good motherfucking poets. And when I was too young to actually go to see the poetry, I would just open up my window, and I would literally be able to hear the poets. And sometimes they'll be doing like jazz, like it was. I mean. This little coffee shop, they are awesome. They are awesome. If you ever get a chance in Buffalo, New York to support them, please do. I remember Miss Cat. I used to go to this coffee shop and get a banana muffin every motherfucking day and some penny candy. Every day I had to get my banana muffin before I went to school. I would get a banana muffin from this coffee shop. And they had they had awesome poetry. I mean, the poets were nice. I used to be able to just listen to them poets, and that's why I was so into poetry. I was such a poetry head growing up. I used to write poetry. I used to love poetry cafes. I still love poetry cafes. I just haven't been to one in a while. But that was my thing. But that's where it came from. Like literally being able to look outside of my window, open up my window, and listen to poetry when I was a little ass kid. But when I was old enough to go, I used to actually go to.
Selling their items, selling food, selling jewelry, selling clothes, selling art. It's way more than just a parade.
This year, the parade will begin on Saturday at 10 a.m. on J.N.S. Street. The festival wraps up at 7 p.m. on Saturday. The celebration then continues on Sunday from noon to 7 at MLK Park.
Juneteenth, of course, started on Jefferson, and how it has
Look at that. Wow, at Jefferson.
grown to be at Martin Luther King Park, and it's only getting bigger. There's so much rich history of Juneteenth Buffalo. We're so excited to be going into our 50th year anniversary next year.
The festival features 150 vendors, including several Black-owned businesses. The owners of Empty Coffee.
See, that's the coffee shop that was in the back of my house. Like this coffee shop, I grew up going to this coffee shop at Oak Grove. I know y'all see that now. Literally, this coffee shop there's a house directly in front of this coffee shop, but diagonal. That's where I grew up. Oh, yep. This coffee shop is long standing. They've been there for decades. This coffee shop right here. It's Black owned. It's a really nice coffee shop. They got excellent food, excellent dessert. Their cheesecake is off the chain. They got a good desserts. They do food too, but I like their desserts. I used to go there and get desserts too as a little ass kid. But the banana muffin, I had to have my banana muffin before school. That was just it. When I was in 7th, 8th grade, I went to this coffee shop every single day to get me a banana muffin. And then also sometimes for my birthday, I get me they had like some really good desserts.
The Cup Cafe say for many years, the Juneteenth Festival spread the word about their business, which opened more than 20 years ago. Co-owner Sterling Lee says he first helped.
So that's Miss Cat's son. He's the owner now. I guess they passed it on to him.
Helped his mother at Juneteenth.
And I grew up knowing, I'm not saying I know this man, but I was a little ass kid and I grew up seeing this guy in his mom's coffee shop. I was more familiar with his mom, but I used to see him all the time, like every day. But now he's the owner now.
Juneteenth Festival when he was 14 years old.
I learned quickly about how this is about my community. This is about my culture. So if I want to be involved in this culture, say that I'm part of this culture, I have to know about it.
Lee says he's encouraged to hear there will be a designated teen area at the Juneteenth Festival, as well as a children's area this year.
For me, it was needed. As I'm growing as a young adult, I'm still trying to figure out who I am. Young kids definitely, if anything, need to be more involved than adults. They're the next generation.
On your side in Buffalo, Chelsea Swift, Channel 2 News.
Wow. I feel like that is such a blast of the past to see that. Like, what is the chances that the coffee shop that I grew up going to every single day in the back of my damn house would be featured in that video? I would have never guessed that. I really would not have. I guess that's like the ancestors trying to kind of keep some, just give me some. I don't know what that's about, but that's not a coincidence. That coffee shop is literally in the back of my fucking house that I grew up in. Wow. Yeah, I was trying to look to see if they had something at the Martin Luther King. Maybe if I type in Martin Luther King. Because they're only showing the Genesee one, but they're not really showing Martin Luther King Park. Okay, here we go. Here's one.
All right, as you know, Courtney and I are here.
That's that Martin Luther King statue that I told you that was in the back. That's the statue in the back.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Park, where we are getting things revved up for this year's annual Juneteenth Festival celebration. Now, this morning, Courtney's busy with the band. She's going to come on back from the drummers in a few minutes, but Jomo Okono is the vice president of everything here at Juneteenth. And Jomo, you have been busy. This real festival has been kind of gathering momentum all week. And you were saying you're doing a lot on the phone. You're talking to people from other countries who want to know what's going on in Buffalo this weekend.
Yeah, we did an interview the other day in Jamaica with Elise Kelly from IFM, one of the biggest radio stations in the world. And all over the world, all over America, all over the state, people are talking about the Juneteenth in Buffalo. And our festival has grown so much where the cultural tourism, what's happening with people investigating, finding out about the corridor to their countries and talking about the time and the importance of the diversity and the power.
I ain't gonna hold you. Them Caribbeans, they have always helped us in that Juneteenth. I kind of want to give them a pass because they have been. They always used to. They always did they've been around me since I was a little kid. A lot of the Black Americans will look forward to having that Jamaican food there too. That curry chicken and jerk chicken and shit and curry goat. They used to look for now that don't mean they get to take over our shit, but they was they used to have the most popular vendors, you know, they would have the longest lines because that's our opportunity to get some damn jerk chicken and some damn curry chicken.
Of the community has turned into a world spectacle. And even with
And remember I told you about that fried dog. I thought I was making that up. I'm serious. Like that's a big deal.
Other organizations locally, within the county, within the state. So this Juneteenth festival has grown into something where the whole community is adding a hand, and we welcome that.
Wonderful. Let's also talk about the theme of this year.
That's where I grew up at. This what we used to do as little kids. Those sprinklers was a shit.
Well, 400 years is the awakening. Many people here, we have a lot of different cultural and religious minds. 1619 is when Africans were forcibly brought to Jamestown, Virginia. They were African people who were actually traveling here before then. But this whole aspect of the transatlantic slave trade having its continental United States history, 1619. We really fast forwarded 400 years, and we're now in the year 20.
See, that's why we gotta have our Black Americans in the forefront of this. He should not even be speaking on this. He's a Jamaican. He's welcome to have his vendor shop at our spot, with this curry chicken and whatnot, and show. But he's got all our history all jacked up and.
What is happening locally, what is happening nationally, what is happening internationally. And all of that is also going to be right here at this park.
Yeah, it's not okay for them to speak on the Juneteenth, and he's Jamaican, but at the same time, like they always was involved in our Juneteenth, even before it became like federal, and they've always been frontline and center. That's why we had the problems we got now with this delineation stuff. But they always been frontline and center at that Juneteenth with they jerk chicken and curry chicken and curry goat and beef, Jamaican beef patty. And they had the longest lines because our Black American asses show was eating that shit. That shit was good as hell.
Parade is going to be starting at 11 o'clock. The music, the drummers, the dancers, the bands. I can hear it, see it, smell it right now. 11 o'clock, Genesee and Moselle. If you get there early, the streets will be blocked off so you all can get your lawn chairs. You can come out with your friends, your family, and line up along Genesee Street, line up in the park. We have 3 stages that are going to start at 2 o'clock. So right from the parade, everyone's filing in. We have this whole area is going to be utilized. Activities for youth. We have a griot village for the elders. We have every age specific activity. And we also have it where family, friends, and people who have never been, we're inviting you to come to the park.
Yeah, there's going to be a great mood here, but we're talking about too for health. There's a health pavilion, there's children's events. And like you say, you have thought of everything for every generation, because you know what? As you were saying, Jomo, with people still learning about this around the country, we're still teaching.
I have to say, he kind of looked familiar too, because I mean, Buffalo is so smart. This man actually is very familiar to me. I wouldn't be surprised. Damn, I wish I could refresh his face looks so damn familiar. But then again, it's a lot of Jamaicans in Buffalo that look like this too. So, I mean, but yeah, that's the Juneteenth.
Even our young people hear what this is all about.
This year, even the United States Department of Agriculture is working with this whole idea about planting gardens. They're going to be teaching young people in the science area about soil testing, how to grow seedlings, how to grow things, and also have them being biodegradable where nothing is being utilized or harming the environment. So we're doing a whole lot with education, but practical education. We call it our communiversity approach.
Fantastic. All right, Joe. Well, you know what? I'm part of the crowd that's also praying the rain away for this weekend. And so far, we're doing great today. It looks wonderful. Now, as you hear the music behind me, in just in a few minutes, Courtney's going to be back with more about some of the entertainment that you're going to enjoy here all weekend long at Martin Luther King Jr. Park for the Juneteenth Festival.
Yep, so that's the Juneteenth. Lord, they Buffalo, we got to work on our delineation, but I mean, long as we having a good time, that's all I care about. More than anything, I really want us to be having a good time today. But yeah, that's the Juneteenth. It was just on my mind, and I've been so buried in my work, and I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna take the day off and just fucking chill and think about the Juneteenth and think about some things, just relax. So That's what I'm doing today. I might put them collard greens on. I don't know. Like I don't know. But I got me some collard greens. I got me some collard. It's cornbread, but it's the jalapeno cheddar cornbread. And I wanted regular cornbread, like the Black American style cornbread. But I got some jalapeno cheddar cornbread. I don't know how that's gonna taste with them collard greens. It should be all right. It should be all right. Yeah, let me get my ass up off of here. Yep. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.